Yeah, no more bad talk.
Seat
All right.
cover.
All right, mics are live. Mics are live. Yeah, Raza's
Oh,
now
I-
writing down buy seat cover in tomorrow's schedule.
yeah, bike. Make sure it comes in not leather.
Mm-hmm.
Stain resistant.
Sweat and stain resistant, and also soundproof the dark car.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Tinted windows.
Shit gets foggy. I didn't realize
I mean,
that. I paid attention to it.
I don't care either way. It's nobody's.
I'm
just like,
looking in your car windows anyway.
half the time I was like, can't see. As I'm I'm resetting, we're resetting everything. I was like, can't see shit as I'm getting out of the driveway.
God.
Fogging up your window causes an accident.
Yeah.
Ossifer.
Sorry,
Sorry,
officer.
Ossifer.
So I was hustling, officer. We needed to get it done.
That's it.
Sure, our house is
awesome.
down the road, but it's in the heat of the moment.
Yeah. Why do you think I bought this Mercedes with the reclining seats, dog?
Yeah. Do you not see the seat covers? Do you not see the seat covers?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That are for $140 now.
God.
So we got no panda today. We got no panda. R.I.P. R.I.P. Another one. The uncle went to get milk today and didn't come back.
Funkle. It's a funkle.
Funkle? What does that mean? What is a funkle?
A funkle's a fun uncle.
Fun uncle, Bailey.
Okay, I like that. He can be a funkle.
Bailey's never been an uncle, so he does not know what a funkle
I
is.
haven't. Yeah, no. Well, I can now. There's a possibility it can happen now, but when
if it's your own sibling, you're an older brother. If it's your
I'll be like 60 and an uncle.
That's possible.
It quite damn well is. We'll see. But that's a whole different can of worms. Oh my god, little sister.
Oh boy.
So the one thing I wanted to clarify, and I can clarify live on air, the next movie is panda picking, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to write it down beforehand. And as per the last few weeks. Oh my god, I don't have ads prepped, so we're gonna clap or be goofy. Wine Mom, do you have at least the IMDb synopsis pulled up, or should I get the IMDb
do not have it pulled up. Dude, I came home from work and immediately, shoved food in my mouth and turned the computer on.
Is it not you who, lectures us about prep work?
No, I don't lecture you guys about prep work.
That's me.
I wing this on a regular basis. What do you mean?
I'm the one yelling at all of us. Why do we have shit done?
All right, okay, you guys are right. You guys are right.
But seriously, Bailey, we have shit done. Stop being a bitch. Stop selling. Stop. Put me first again. Remember when I was first in your heart and mind? Fucker.
Strange.
You still are always every day, Raza.
Really?
Never forget.
That's not very nice.
Patronizing. This is patronizing. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm married to Raza. No matter what type of relationship I want to get in, they have to know that I'm emotionally married to this man, and our holy matrimony is the content.
That is a little chaotic.
That is a little much. I did not know we would want to go there, but
a little horny.
You
little turned
your
on.
life away to me, and part of it was also all of your love.
Damn. Love juice?
Well, I mean, that part's negotiable.
Nah, it's deliverable. It's deliverable.
Ew! Signed, sealed, and delivered. Ew!
Signed, sealed, delivered. It's yours.
Oh my god! You know what's also sick? The movie we just saw. Ew!
Oh my god! Don't talk smack about the movie.
No, I stand for the movie. Do you guys want to keep shooting the shit a little bit, or do you want to get right into it? I'm not in a rush.
No, it's fine. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Wow.
Let's go. Do you want to talk more? All right.
No, I don't want to talk. Anymore.
Okay. I
don't want to be friends.
Stop it! Don't make me laugh right now. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much. I'm
Same
not
here.
allowed to be jolly. Okay.
Fucking hilarious, Bailey. Fucking hilarious, Bailey.
He's stressing me out.
I still love Raza having the soundboard. I'm very down with this. Okay, so what's up, Internet?
What's up, Internet?
Welcome to Movie Madness. This week we watched Romeo and Juliet, the 1996 version, which is really cool and super 2000s, super millennial style. I feel like it was ahead of the curve for this. I know. I just said it was 2000s from the 90s. I feel like a dumbass, but it was directed by Baz Luhrmann, and I didn't know it was, but it was also screenwritten by him. If you like theater classics and modern like theater adaptations to film, he's made like a whole bunch of them. So if it's your first time tuning in, we'd like to take a breather in the madness and focus in on a film as if it were a movie club. Things are chaotic, so we want to slow down and not binge watch. Our movie today, as we noted, that was made in 1996 and not 2000, was Romeo and Juliet. And next movie, we have Panda, our Funkle who left us, choosing. So tune in, or I'll use movie magic to let you know what's next. So, without further ado, what we like to do here is give you a spoiler-free review, so that if you sound interested in this film, if it's something that like might tickle your fancy, then you can stop this, go back, watch it, come back, and call us dumbasses after you have an opinion on it. Raza, do you have anything to add before I give the synopsis?
I'm just on the Canadian Tire website looking for barbecues right now, but no,
what are you
doing? No, I don't. That was a good intro.
Oh my god.
Thank you. Beef on Netflix ruined those like little my man's brought out one of those little barbecues. I was like, yo, you better be safe, fam. I was like,
I know.
I just saw the barbecue.
I know.
You're afraid of them now?
No, I'm teasing. I'm being lighthearted, but it reminded me of that.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Okay, so, spoiler-free synopsis. The storyline as per IMDb, since Wine Mom doesn't like to write her own interpretations, is...
Cry more, Bailey.
Like, bullying me.
The classic story of Romeo and Juliet, set in a modern city of Verona Beach. The Montagues and the Capulets are two feuding families whose children meet and fall in love. They have to hide their love from the world because they know that their parents will not allow them to be together. There are obstacles on the way, like Juliet's cousin Tybalt and Romeo's friend Mercutio. I'm going to mess that up all night. And many fights. But although it is set in modern times, it is still the same timeless story of star-crossed lovers.
Beautiful.
Good job, Bailey. Fucking go collect $200. Go pass go. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. It's like the most modern take you could take on Romeo and Juliet by slotting in young Leonardo DiCaprio as the lead.
Making it in 1996 and switching the cars switching horses with cars and guns with swords.
And the whips are still pretty cool though. It's like I was looking at it, I was like, these are pretty cool cars actually.
Because they're made in it's like original cars, not like actual cars. They're like
I know, and I like
not actual cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, with those helpful tips, Ross, I want to remind the listeners that what we do, right? You can go back, watch the movie. After this ad break, after I throw us to ad break, you come back, we're giving our spoiler-based opinions. So if you want to go watch it, this is where you stop it. Stop in now, okay? So Raza, give me one big clap or monologue so that I can know to put the ads here.
The greatest show on television ended yesterday, called Succession. I'm still not over it. I am going to go after this podcast and cry a little more. Is that good enough for you, babe?
Yeah, that works. Right. Thank you. Okay.
That's not nice, Wine Mom. The shit...
Pathetic.
What? He was about to throw it at me. He was about to get at me for no reason. That's why he's about to get violent out here.
No! No!
Stop projecting, Bailey.
Yes.
God.
Yes. Get his ass, Wine Mom. Get his ass.
All right, we're back. So, I
No.
already warned you. It's spoiler city now. I think we're pretty unanimous on our opinions here this time around. It is going to be lonesome without Panda here to drop all the fancy filmography and cinema buff facts. But, Raza, you said that you knew a fair amount about this.
No, I just said I did ISU on this. I was like, yeah, I bullshitted at ISU.
Wow, Raza.
I got a B+ on it.
Would you like to take the lead this week, though?
On Wine Mom's movie?
Okay, sorry. All right. Wine Mom, would you like to go first?
Oh my goodness. Fine, I'll go first.
All right.
The thing is, like, my opinion is going to be super obsessive about this movie because I love it so much. So it's kind of unfair that I'm going first, but that's fine.
All right, liberal. Let's go.
Dude, don't fuck with me. No, so Romeo and Juliet is like one of my favorite, like, I guess you could say star-crossed lovers story. As far as romance goes, because like I don't like romance movies, but I really like this movie. It's just like it's really cute. Like it takes place around Halloween, so like they're all in like costumes. So she's dressed as like an angel, and then he's a knight in shining armor, and it's really cute. I think for me aesthetically, this is like probably top 2 of like perfectly executed aesthetics for me. The cinematography was also really good. There was a lot of really good shots. The one where, so like my favorite shot of the movie is when they're at the party and she's behind the aquarium and he's on the other side and he's just watching her walk and she's just like doesn't even really see him, and then they see each other and try to like meet each other, and it's really cute. Another good one is when I think it's Romeo's friend is doing like a monologue on the stage, which is really cool. And then
Mercury. Both have speech impediments. This is horrible.
But his name is hard to say. And then obviously the ending scene where she's laying on the bed with all the candles, like that is probably the prettiest thing. I don't know what is wrong with me. I really like death scenes. Even though I don't like sad things, I like death scenes because that was like my favorite thing about Cowboy Bebop. Was it anyway?
Yeah. I really liked like how like when they the literal first scene when they showed Leo and he was like framed in the sunset of the big stage. Yes. It was like, oh, that's very like memorable, stuck in my mind.
Yes. It's just like, so they just nailed the aesthetic so well because it is supposed to be at like Venice Beach, and you can obviously tell like that's the vibe. Everybody in their swimsuits and their Hawaiian shirts, like you can tell that's the vibe. Which I love that. And we were just talking earlier before we started about all the cars because like that was the era for that. So there's that. But it's also like the characters all individually are so cool. Like all Romeo's like brothers and cousins or whatever. They're just like that whole family is just so cool. The one guy has pink hair. And they've got the token redhead. And even still, so like Mauricio's character, for when this movie came out, for the time that it was, like his character is kind of progressive because he's quite clearly very fluid, which is really fun.
And they held it as like it was really progressive in the way of it wasn't like here's the trans person singing. It was very like everyone was in with it. It wasn't like everyone was ogling it.
Well, I do notice that about. I do notice about a lot of 90s, early to mid 90s movies where this is a very common thing. There's a bunch of movies that I've seen in this time period where they have like that stuff going on too. So I think it was like more normal. It was like a club scene thing. Yeah. That's what this portrayed as well. The club.
Yeah. But I really like how they modernized the story, because it's crazy, because like this is a nostalgic, I guess you could say, vintage movie for us, because it's nostalgic and it's old, but it's still a modernized version of Romeo and Juliet. So personally, I really like the choice of weapon. Just like, I feel like it just adds something extra. Also, it's just like, I like how the movie, because I don't know how you guys felt watching it, because I've honestly watched this movie, I don't even know, 600 times at this point. I've watched it so many times. I barely remember, but I've just watched it so many times, it just runs through my head. But it feels like the movie is really short, but it's not. For me, it felt like it feels like it goes by so fast. Like every scenario is so short. It just keeps happening so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I felt like it could have been, like, I wanted it to be longer because I just enjoyed it so much.
2 hours is like kind of long movie.
I liked it. I felt like it was an adequate way to summarize the play into a way shorter runtime. I don't really like watching theater and Shakespeare, so I found it drawn out and I was getting bored of all the theater shit. But again, I don't like it, so I'm just providing an objective perspective. Otherwise, I can see how it was good. I liked it. I'm sure you could fill in more. So
well, I just mean like, because there's characters I feel like I wanted more time with, because like the priest, I think that guy is really cool with his little greenhouse, and he's got the huge tattoo on his back. And that's another thing that I like about it, is like all of these characters, even though you've got like a priest and a king and a princess and all this kind of stuff, like everybody's just like a badass. Like they're all just badasses. Especially the priest, like you could tell like he's a gangster. But he's also a priest.
So my only plot hole of the film, right? That's I guess it was kind of the plot hole of the original stuff, anyways. But essentially, all this shit just goes to hell because the priest was lazy and didn't go see Leo overnight. Instead, he just told her to go take the thing and was like, "Oh well, fucking." Maybe I'll find some time in the morning and go tell him. If he just went and told him right away, problems, situation avoided.
It happens in the play.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, touche. It's true to the context.
But the thing is, because like back in the day when the story was originally written, it wasn't easy to send messages. You couldn't just call somebody or send your friend down the street. Like the proximity wasn't the same. So it's like, that's how the story is always meant to end. And so instead of emphasizing on the proximity, he chose instead to just use the lack of technology as communication, I guess. Even though they were close to each other, he could have gone and seen him or sent somebody.
Yeah. There's
I personally love the way that it ends. Even though I don't normally like sad stuff, as I've said, I like the way
at least it's stayed true to the source material. They could have taken a liberty and be like, she gets up, and they're hugging, right?
Yeah.
But they know, like, oh, fucker dies. They both die. Fuck them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like the weapons too, like you mentioned. I did think they were cool. I like it's a fun little take. And then I know if you go on a rabbit hole on YouTube, all the weapon buffs, they all try to mod tools to look like these movie props, because they're held in high regard by even those raw nuts, So it's cool. It's cool. It's interesting. It was unique, and they would have the little subtleties. Like it would drop, and one was called a rapier, another one was a cutlass, another one was a dagger. I was like, "There's a little attention to detail."
Yeah, like that's the little things about this movie that I love so much. It's like, not only is it aesthetically really pleasing, it's also like a good classic story that they did a really good job adapting. The costumes are perfect in my opinion, as I said. But also the very fine details of like the license plates, signs, the guns, how they all have their own different names, just like stuff like that. That's like, you could overlook that if you haven't watched the movie enough or really appreciate the movie.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just think actually, you know what? I want to save my thoughts for my thing. Never mind. Go. It's fine. Go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I just think like overall for me, there's like certain things that I need in a movie, and this one just like hits all of them. And it's also what I really like about this movie is it's outside of my genre preference, and it's a very sad, morbid story, but I still love it so much just because of how well done it is and how beautiful, and the filmography and the set design and all that's like, I like literally this movie's in my top 5 like all-time favorites. Yeah, like I just love it so much. Also, it's perfect. It was perfect timing for Leo, because that was like one of his high points in his career, I think, just based on like he was that heartthrobby
Titanic.
Yes, this is like
I think it was,
teen years, and then I would say Titanic was him heading into adulthood peak.
Okay.
You know, this was.
So I could definitely, I could agree with you, because you could definitely see the star in the early.
But
he just looked like cringe, but the star there.
Yeah, but he plays that like perfect, brooding, like teen heartthrob character, but also that kind of like sweet and gentle character who's a little bit like stupid, and because like his romance with Juliet, like the way it's done in the movie, it feels very fast, but it's just like you can see like he's kind of dumb.
Yeah, well, they both
are. But she's a little bit more like, why are you so dumb? You should be a little more aggressive. Hello. And he's just kind of like surprised that she even likes him, which I think is really cute that they play that up, because he's like this character that's like, he's like a low-key badass. He's like the one family member that everyone like kind of underestimates, but he's not really a punk.
Yeah, he does murk the mans in the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't hesitate to do that.
He is a punk. He's absolutely
a punk.
He's
my
not.
favorite actor of like the stylized is I really like Tybalt, the John Geary, blah blah blah. I always forget how to say his name. Leguizamo.
The original Luigi.
That guy, fire.
His character. Okay, so I'll say this movie, when I was thinking to recommend it, I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna like it. I don't think it's gonna land. But this character alone was the reason why I thought it would be okay for Bailey, because I knew that like when I saw this character, I'm like, Bailey will fucking love this guy. Like this is totally Bailey's. Like he'll enjoy it so much. Even like their whole crew, because it's because this is what I mean when I say like the aesthetic of the movie. Like they bring that aesthetic to life so well with
like
that.
He brought in the Cowboy Bebop reference, and that's whenever he was doing the shit, it made me think of that. They had like sort of funky music playing too, and I was like, oh yeah, that's very like on that vibe of aesthetic.
Yes. So good.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, who wants to go next? Who's?
I guess I'll go next. I've seen this move. Did you go, Bailey?
What? No, I didn't.
I wasn't go.
Would you prefer? Do you want to go last?
I'll go next. Fuck it, fine. I was a little bit. So this movie is weird. It's really, really weird. I'm still processing it. I've seen it like twice already. It's a weird way to do an adaptation. It works because not everybody's gonna watch the original one set in like the 60s. Because this one has all modern takes, modern actors. Leonardo DiCaprio's in it, and there's guns and cars in it, and it's a little bit quicker. The other interesting part is how I from what I remember, it's like, okay, the dialogue, I think they may have changed it, but no, they kept that 100%. There's stuff here and there where they have changed to keep up with the flow of the conversation. I did notice, but it's a weird adaptation. I think Luigi and Paul Rudd are two of the most interesting casted. Everybody else works in this movie.
Oh right, I forgot Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul Rudd in this.
I'm
He's
with
a
you on it.
baby.
He's a baby in this one. Yeah. So when I saw him, I was like, because I just seen him like last week. I saw Ant-Man 3, and I had this in the back of my head while watching. It's like, this is where he came from. Holy shit! This is like Clueless, which is which is a solid movie. But I just think those two roles were weirdly odd, and they were the standout role. I don't know if they were good or bad. It was just like Paul Rudd, like, because you know how certain actors are good at theater too, because they have done theater, and there's certain actors who just go right into normal acting. You can definitely see who's done theater before and has done acting, and Paul Rudd and Luigi are not in that camp. I feel like they just went straight into acting school, or just normal Hollywood acting right out the gate. So I thought they were weird in a way, but well. I did like how Leonardo DiCaprio's in their first interaction. What's her name? I forget
Juliet.
Juliet, Claire Danes.
Oh, her real name. Yeah,
Claire Danes. So she, that, like, I like how it begins so fast, as used to, just right out.
Yeah.
The spark is right there, pulls her away, and then Paul Rudd is looking like an idiot at like look at the fuckers.
I love that they kept cutting back to that.
Yeah, at that point, I thought, is this movie supposed to be a comedy? Because from there on, I started to process the movie that way, because it was because again, it being set in the 90s, it's just like over extravagant sort of this in your face energy. There's so much going on, because I thought it was supposed to be like an outrageous take on it, so it's supposed to be more of a humorous take. When spoiler alert, that guy, he dies. Mercutio, he dies.
Painful, so sad.
Yeah, but I was thinking, can somebody call like the ambulance or something? Because that's not a big wound, and he's slowly walking, or he's walking a distance away, and then dies. And it's like 96. Why can't we just? They have cars, they have everything, but it was like, oh wait, I gotta stay in. I gotta stay in the realm of this where none of that exists. There is a police force, by the way. There is a police force. They're not that helpful, but there is one. And I think the Captain Prince was probably my favorite character. He was like the police guy. I think because he's the one who actually has because when you read the play, I think he's the one that you're supposed to. The reader is supposed to be in the shoes of, because he's supposed to be the logical one. That's what when we discussed this in like college and high school, there's a theory that maybe we're supposed to be the one in his shoes. He's supposed to be the audience eyes, which could make sense, because everybody in this godforsaken tragedy is acting insane, and he's just like, you motherfuckers, get your shit together. Your kids are. Talk to your kids. Don't force them to get married. And the other thing is just like, a lot of Bollywood and a lot of Pakistani dramas follow this. So like, I see the dumbness in all this, and it's sort of interesting seeing, a North American style, because it's a lot of our tragedies are taken from Shakespeare. So it's like, it's seeing the original. So that's why they're super insane. That's why everybody is just dumb in these stories, because it's taken from these characters. But I also think it's a time capsule too, just because it has like that Hawaiian vibe going on with those Hawaiian shirts. You have the frosted hair of Leonardo DiCaprio, who's this moody teenager. I fucking would just get your shit together. You're Leonardo, go after anybody else. You can save It's just yeah, and I did like the scene where like, oh, he's a Capulet, or like she's a he's a Capulet, and then she's a
No,
Mont
opposite.
all the way around.
You're
Yeah,
right.
Opposite.
he's a
And then
Capulet. She's a Montague.
when we go up the stairs, I was like, oh, that's how they're doing it. So I did like how they kept the beats of the actual play in this, and not like deviate too much from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it was an interestingly weird movie. That's what.
But that's why I like it so much, because it's such a traditional story that we've seen done hundreds of times in different ways and different styles. But this movie was unique in the fact that it tried to bring it as much forward into current time as it could, but also still stuck true to the style and the character of the original story.
Right. No, 100%. And that's what that's what
Like
I
the
think.
dialogue. Like I know, like some, like I've had, like I've recommended this movie to people and they've complained because of the dialogue. But for me, I feel like that adds so much character to the movie, because it wouldn't be Romeo and Juliet without the character of the original dialogue.
Yes,
No,
and that's what I agree with that. Yeah.
It's so fire. Like even that opening scene of the whole fight at the gas station when you go to a play, it's just four guys on stage having an argument. It was like such a cool way to make that entertaining while using the original dialogue.
I was laughing my ass off because I'm just like, are they gonna go guns blazing in this middle busy gas people are around and whatnot? How come nobody's saying anything about this? I was at every fight, because this is what I mean. Like, it's ridiculous because yes, back then during Shakespeare, like swords and stuff, it does make sense. It's contained, but when you bring guns and you're just shooting and fucking random arbitrarily because you're angry, people are getting caught in crossfire. And I'm surprised the death toll or that body count wasn't higher in this, because there are a lot of gunfights, and surprisingly not the main only the main people. That they're on beaches too. It's just it's just, and Leonardo DiCaprio is like he like beneath the very thin layer of cringe of his youth, in my opinion, there is he's still like, he has it there. You can be like, this is
killing it.
Yeah, it's just like, this is why he won an Oscar in The Revenant. Well, not
like Jesus Christ, and the crying on command like that, and then
now I know why he's a big prodigy, because of like this shit.
Yeah, exactly. It really flexes of like, oh yeah, and I just checked his IMDb and it was like the Basketball Diaries right before this, so he's just like flexed all of his acting skills.
I heard that movie was good too.
Yeah, it's a classic. Like a subtle detail of the aesthetics and like matching all that with like kind of what you guys are talking about is I really liked, like he went to the pool hall. Leo went to the pool hall with his ginger cousin. And then because everyone has that fashion aesthetic, they're all wearing the holsters. They're all like holstered up. And so when you're in the pool hall, it was like everyone had their shirts off and everyone had tan lines from the holsters. That's kind of funny and accurate. I'm sure it's likely because they were filming on the beach wearing the things all day and not about continuity. But either way, I like the detail. It's like a good little added touch to the commitment of the story. I was giggling at that. It's also the goofiest tan line, right? You got like these straps on your arms. Like,
it's like a bikini line but for dudes.
For a man carrying that strap, dog.
Big bad
Scarborough Man. Is it the Scarborough Man that does that? Does he have that?
Romance.
Yeah, I love those the details of having holsters like that. It's like went the way in the 80s as soon as like you could easily be captured on the street with like any sign of having a weapon. These badass detectives with the holsters and everything. It's like, why can't...
Yeah, I wonder how the gun laws work in this place. Like, I would assume they're open carry. They're fine with open carry.
Yeah, you just have to cash it at the door.
At weddings.
At weddings and to play pool.
Yeah.
This movie's insane, but go on, Bailey.
Well, because again, I think it's in the original play. I'll babble about the play stuff first because you touched on some of that. Is like because I think they take the time when you see the play in person that they have to give their swords to somebody. It's like a whole thing. They talk to the teller or something, and they skip that. And then I found shit. I had a good point, and I totally forgot it. So whatever. I'm gonna keep moving on. Overall, from my opinion, I found it like hard to find critical points. As I said, it wasn't exactly my cup of tea, but it is like an excellent movie. I don't really have any like big. I pointed out the one plot hole I saw, but again, it's true to the book. A shooting in that way that they do the shaky cam, especially in the 90s when you still had to use all the big heavy equipment. It's all film cameras. Like to shoot to make it look that way was a pain in the ass then. So it was like really cool and interesting to watch all the scenes, even like the ballroom when he sees Paul Rudd in the spaceman suit and he's like chasing her around that ballroom. Like just to set that shit up would be the biggest goddamn headache. So I was like, this is really, I'm being a bit of a film geek here. It's kind of cool. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I also felt the pacing was kind of ahead of its time. Like the way I don't know if I was watching a weird cut, but it pretty much had a trailer at the beginning. Like it started like a YouTube video of like, here's everything that's going to happen. Now movie starts. I was like, this is awkwardly like futuristic for its time. This would hold up.
Like how they introduced every character, like here's Capulet, here's blah blah. I thought that was
so
really cool,
I thought it was really cool, really memorable that way, and I was like, yeah, definitely very ahead of the time. And then I definitely, as an anime fan, the theatrics of the fighting, I was totally.
I knew.
I loved it.
I knew. I was like,
I'm like watching it. It's like this is the closest thing to like a live action anime fight that you could probably get. The way they're like twirling and shit. I was like, fuck yeah. I love this. This is like the goofiness mixed with the badass violence. Yes, please. Shooting technicalities, like the color overall good, and I miss the 90s styles where when they're outside they relied on the sun a lot. You didn't have these huge sets with giant lights coming down on them. You're just like even the shootout in the gas station or when Mercutio was dying. They weren't evenly lit. Like it looked like it was naturally shot, which felt more real and actory, and I enjoyed that a lot. I'll go on a goofy one and then the sensitivities one. So the one thing I did notice is like same thing on the anime note. There's like you get two versions of Leo. And this is probably the first time I see him being this version when he was young. There's like a lanky Leo and a buff Leo, and it depends what character he's playing. He's got like two different sets of postures, where he's got like one posture where he's really slouched. Like in this character, he's like a slouchy teenager that's really uncomfortable, or he's like in Inception, broad-shouldered and in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's also a man in Inception.
No,
but he also still Shutter Island. He plays the same. He's back to curled. He uses that posture again in Shutter Island. So he's like curled and makes himself look tiny. I was like very distinctly okay. There is a difference. He does it on purpose, which is interesting.
Right, but it's a good point that you brought that up because it plays into the character because people forget that Romeo and Juliet were 16.
Yes.
And when he's around adults, he behaves like a 16-year-old. But when he's with his brothers and his cousins and her, all of a sudden he's acting like a 25-year-old. Like you can see, it's a good thing you pointed that out, Bailey, because that is very accurate that he plays. Yeah.
And I thought he did that well. It was notable. Like like when he finds out that Juliet dies and he's sitting there in the desert, he was like slouched in this very like dramatic way, and I was like, see, that's like very much that his posture is focused. But on the same note of forgetting that they're kids, that's especially with all the news of like Weinstein and how Hollywood has been working for the past 20, 30 years. I was having troubles with maintaining the obliviousness and watching the movie of like, this is just a lot of sexualization of teenagers, like watching teenagers go at it on film. I was like, I'm trying to suspend my disbelief, but especially now that we know what it was like back then and all the weird stuff that was happening with Leo alone, like, God, it felt a little creepy. I was like, this is. So they were just like, everyone was sexualizing these teens and this teen story the whole time.
Yeah.
Just the amount of people it had to go through to get produced. I'm like, I'm just going to try to not think about this part. We kind of on that's okay, that's serious. If anyone's got a point, go ahead. That's a little cringy serious note there.
No, that's a valid point for sure. But that's part of the reason why I like this movie. Not that's not a part of the movie, but I just mean like when I watch this, it just brings me back to like when I was a teenager and how, because you can see how they look at love. This is so morbid. I'm going to be morbid. You can just see how the way that they look at love so differently than you do as an adult, because for them, like they had this feeling and it was the end all be all and they were going to end together. And it's weird how it's like, if you could live multiple lives, that would be a fun life to live, if that makes sense, because it's like you get to experience that true like obsession to death, and it's super romantic but very morbid and sad because they're only 16. But I mean, like they did these kind of things like in Lord of the Rings. There's like a hint of that sort of like I would die for you type
Yeah, but
love.
Lord of the Rings is cool.
And you're a baby.
I'm sorry.
No, but this movie's, it's in different spectrums, but I'm just saying, as far as like that story of like, it's so morbid but it's so beautiful at the same time, and it's just like it's cute that they get to like I shouldn't say it's cute. I don't know what I'm trying to say fully, but basically it's like these two 16-year-olds just like literally just lived for each other and died for
Yeah,
each other. And it was
it's
very cute, but also
yeah,
sad.
and it's also because it's also because like I'm seeing this stuff from again. There is a very famous Bengali play or book that is inspired by Romeo and Shakespeare called Devdas, and that's essentially has the same thing where it's just like these two. It's all about like this, because both stories talk about forbidden love, and forbidden love, I guess, is like the most potent love that you can come across, right?
Yeah.
And that's like I think it's because of that whole like aura that we're not supposed to be together. That's what's making it even more, and that's what Dave Doss kind of does too. Is like, okay, let's just make these two polar opposite families get screwed over by this interaction. So it's just that's what it's morbid, but when the
But
stakes are higher, that's what I think.
yes, but it's also a very powerful point of like, because there is the morbidity of the love and the death and like that aspect of it, but it's also this message of like it didn't have to go that way. That's not how it had to be. They could have loved and lived for many years together and had a good legacy, but because their parents couldn't get over their own bullshit, they had to suffer the consequences. Ultimately, punishing everybody and teaching them a valuable lesson, which, love sometimes does that. And it's such a good story in my opinion. But
yeah. It's just like the stakes. Essentially, the stakes are something that makes it even more compelling. And like it's yeah. Just again, I'm sort of used to this sort of because I've been seeing it every Bollywood movie the last 10, 30 years. It's just the same fucking thing about this sort of thing. But it's not as morbid. This is more real.
yeah.
So that, but yeah, I agree. But sorry, Billy.
I think it's fair too. I also didn't consider the perspective of like it gets a little less creepier when you consider you're making it for teens as well. Like it's supposed to be a romance, like you want it, like you're saying, when mom watches it to remember when she was a teen, and like it was kind of made for someone that age to watch it, so it's a little less creepy. So I see where you're coming from on all fronts. And the stakes, Raza, yeah, that was my big theater point. Like I think you're correct, because if I remember from when I had to write about it, the whole point of like the prince of like you're watching it from the objective perspective, and it's supposed to be like a tale of politics and pettiness as well. Like
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
the prince's
Yeah.
perspective is supposed to let you know that like all of this like power and it just ends in the death of love pretty much.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one. I think he's supposed to be the logical one out of everybody, and then that's how the audience is supposed to look at it from a logical.
Yeah.
I mean, not you're supposed to take from different perspectives, but I think generally speaking, you're supposed to be in his shoes, and you're supposed to look through the events from his shoes. I think that's
Yeah.
right.
That's
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. So not goofy, but more lighthearted stuff to the end is Paul Rudd. I agree. Paul Rudd was the worst in it. Paul Rudd
I don't
was
think he was
not
the
a great
worst.
actor.
He was like weirdly cast.
He
So was
wasn't
Luigi.
really. All of them,
But
like you said, the
see,
theater acting, they all had excellent. Like they were surreal. Like they were extra. They were all extra surreal. All the actors, and then Paul Rudd was just like, "Dost thou want to marry me?" Like,
well,
The
see,
guy.
because that.
Sorry.
Well,
Well, the guy.
no,
Yeah, go.
no, go.
The guy who played Ben Volio, like the ginger, I don't. I think he
Love
was
him.
also.
I'm
He was just
sorry, I
like,
love him.
yeah, he's just like a meathead, and he's doing
Mhm.
Shakespearean lines. I'm just like, this is. I'm laughing at this. This
But
is funny.
listen, he slayed though. He owned that, like he owned that role. He did really fucking good. He was like, so I loved this movie and like I loved the love story, but he was like him and the guy with pink hair, I was like, okay, I got a little crush. Like when I
John
was younger, I
Candy.
was like,
That's who you're talking about, by the way.
yes, yeah. I had my little crush. But yeah.
Fucking wine mom.
no, I'm kind of with it. I liked him. I liked the ginger guy. I thought he played it well as like he was playing the dumb soldier who learned about feelings, and I
Mhm.
thought he did that okay. You know what I
And
mean?
saying Shakespeare, where art thou, Shakespeare, my bro? Where art thou?
that I thought it was okay because you kind of saw him get more romantic with his language the more he listened to Romeo. You know.
Mhm.
Sure, but the entire time it's like, okay.
No, but that's the whole thing. Like in this movie, you can see the character development with all of them. Like you can see them start off as like these young punks who like obviously just punk off her family because they are like the hoodlums,
Hmm.
and she's
Hmm.
this like little rich princess. And then you see them slowly sort of emotionally maturing through the movie and getting to a point where like they're literally like we're breaking in and we're going to do this, and then they just support him in this idea of love so much, even though they're all like, dude, this is really bad, but like let's do this.
Yeah. No,
And I
I
also
agree. I agree. I
Mhm.
guess it was his deliverance of like all the lines was like you feel like I feel like you should have a little bit more because everybody
But
else sounds
see,
like they're a
but I
unit. You know what I mean?
but I feel like that was the point of that character. He was supposed to be, because the story is trying to teach you a bunch of different things. Every character is teaching you something. And
Hmm.
like the whole point is to learn how love can affect you and how like just accepting people, places, things, how they are or how they're meant to be can
Yeah.
change you. And he is a
Hmm.
meathead. He is a big dumb meathead, but he
Hmm.
does start to grasp that concept, but he's still dumb meathead.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And
I
that's like
agree. I
they
agree.
stay true to the character, but they give him good emotional development. All of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mauricio was perfect from the beginning of the movie. He was perfect, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect,
It took me a
perfect.
Yeah,
minute to
Mercutio, I
clock
really
in
liked him.
who it
Yeah,
was
he
because
was
I remember
perfect, perfect,
seeing
perfect.
him in something just like a couple days ago, like
Yeah.
before watching the movie. I was
Yes.
like,
Again, I like they. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off.
no,
Just
go. It's fine. It's fine.
I liked that. I know when you refer back to the original play, there's a lot of like ambiguous tension between Romeo and Mercutio, as if they were almost hidden lovers as well. And I like that they kind of included that with the death scene and how
Yes.
love stricken he was, because it's like part of the weird play that it's like awkwardly vague as they're so entwined in their communications and what they're doing.
Yes.
Right.
It
So
just shows.
I'm
It
happy
just
they
shows
didn't
like,
remove that.
yeah. It just shows like true, genuine love, but it's showing you love not just romantically. Like I know there's that underlying hint, but they show the love not just romantically, but also in a friendship way. Like they make it acceptable, especially because Mauricio's character is so fluid and like he's meant to be more flamboyant and out there. That you would think like because Romeo's supposed to be like the cool gangster cousin brother whatever, and like here he is with this very flamboyant character, and that's his best friend. So that
Yeah, yeah.
it just gives so much, like it just shows how Romeo is already so diverse as a person, but he still had room to grow during this scenario in his life. It's so good. It's so good. I'm
It
sorry.
it
I love
also
it so
is,
much.
yeah, like because like the poem for like Shakespeare was like when he if you guys have watched the movie Anonymous, Shakespeare may not have written Romeo and Juliet. No, but um if we if you look at like Shakespeare's time when he was like doing his thing, you can see that the influences in the theater community was like 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 sexuality was undetermined. It was all fluid, so like
Hmm.
it kind of like makes sense of how that sort of character is like it's transferred from like his own society onto a character, and then we're seeing it in the modern actor. So I think that's a great way to show a character who who's who's not all like not like what it seems to show that of them, because like a lot
Yes.
of these characters are very, they're gray, and that's what like makes
Yes.
that I think that's why Shakespeare like Romeo and Juliet is one of the more famous ones, because the characters
Hmm.
are not all good people. You like even down to Romeo and Juliet, everybody's like kind of a dick, right? So
Yeah.
I think that like him specifically, he stands out because it's just like he's even more ominous. Like you don't know
Hmm.
if he could be on both teams or not. So I don't know. I think he's a. I think and how they did it in this, I'll repeat it. It's like very fucking good time, very
Yeah.
90s.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like even though I mean, that's why I thought really hard. I was kind of nervous to bring this movie to you guys because I get like I'm nervous to bring some of my favorite movies because I don't want to hear bad things about them. But this movie I felt confident bringing to the table because I knew that there was so many aspects of it that would appeal to you guys individually. Even if
Yeah,
you weren't like, "Oh, this is the best movie I've ever seen." Like I knew there was certain aspects that you guys would like undeniably so well done. You
yeah.
can't argue it. Like it
No,
is what it is, you know?
even yeah, even with the meathead, the guy who I was like complaining about, even
Mhm.
with their interactions, I was like, okay, this is pretty good. This is, I can see why they teach this in high schools and not the old
Mhm.
one, because
Mhm.
there's actual character development. There's some proper writing. The pacing is all there. It's got good color. The color gradient
Yeah.
is great. It's again, it's in a '90s time capsule that doesn't feel
Mhm.
like a '90s. One of the things
Yes.
that just came to mind right now is how Juliet is like doing her monologue. She's like, "Oh, if I die, say Romeo spread his shit over the sky or whatever the fuck." And the next scene, Romeo is just charging into Luigi with his car, screaming at the top of his lungs because this is
Yes.
just after he's killed. I was eating my burger. And then watching that, like, oh my god, this fucking, it made me jump a little bit because so I did
But
like how, yeah,
yeah, but you see how we talk about it, and you slowly start seeing different pieces that you didn't really think about, because
hmm
that's true. Is like there's all these scenes where like he's out there literally living like a vagrant, like absolutely absurd character, just like out in the world doing the
yeah,
craziest crap, and
yeah.
she's literally like floating around in her bedroom with her little white sleep set on, like,
Mhm.
oblivious, like pouting that her mom is bothering her, but
Yeah.
he's out there like living this crazy life just to then come back to her.
Yeah.
It's just so cute. It's
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
cute.
100%. And the entire time I was thinking, like, what? Where's Romeo's parents? Why aren't they fucking helping him out?
Disconnected, did not care, busy doing their own thing.
I was just like, do they know their son killed somebody?
I think that's the part they skipped out, because I swear there was like a bit more scenes where his family was also protesting his death. But
I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, yeah. Overall, my summary of it was then my last point as on those notes is good movie. Wine Mom was kind of right, bang on. There was aspects I enjoyed about it overall, and like the theater pacing was a bit drawn on for me, but at the same time, I still found myself like wanting to complete the movie, even though I'm like not in the vibe. So I think that says a lot about it if you're not into the Shakespeare vibe, and it still makes you want to watch it.
Yeah, well, because that's kind of like. So when I first found out about this movie, I was like, I don't know if I can hack it, because as a little girl, when we would do road trips, because this is how old I am, my mom, when she was in school, she had a bunch of cassettes of Shakespeare plays, and so when we would go on long road trips, she would let me have them to listen to in the car, and I used to listen to the Romeo and Juliet all the time, and I didn't think that the story would translate as well, because I had all this idea in my head of like story with this like old Victorian era clothing. Like I had all these ideas in my mind of like what Shakespeare's timeline would look like. And then to transfer it to when I watched this movie, I was shocked at how like natural it felt for me to go into this clothing with also still like this aesthetic and clothing and set design and everything. But still have the original dialogue. And I know that it's hard to listen to, because that's one thing if you struggle with Old English, like it's hard to listen to.
Yeah. That's what I think the most authentic part of this movie was using that dialogue. Because like if you do like it in any other way, it's like you're not gonna get the same sort of like emotion drawn out of it, or you're not gonna really truly understand or process the movie. So I feel like the Shakespearean way of telling it, because I'm dumb, so I had to like put it on subtitles and then have a computer beside me while be like, what is well, I watched it with my mom too, so she was just like, this is
she
what
watched it with you.
Yeah, she likes these movies. She really likes these because like she likes Dave Doss, so she's like, let's watch the original Dave Doss. Okay, fine. But it just, I think it's like, it's like one of those movies that you should definitely see. You definitely see. It's weird. It's weird. I don't really see these movies, but I feel like it's a weird enough movie to check out and not laugh at the ginger meathead.
Well, I think I don't know. Are we getting into the recommend?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's in general, like if you're gonna watch any Shakespearean movie, watch this one specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Wine Mom, give me a monologue so that I can put the ads in here, and then we'll put the ads in, and we'll give our buy it, rent it, skip it. Okay.
I can't do a monologue. That's asking
I'll
a
do
lot
one.
from a little lady like
I'll
me.
do one. Have y'all seen Midsummer Nights with William Dafoe?
No.
Oh, that one is it's a direct adaptation. It's like not it's not a modern one. So if they have a modern one, yeah, it's like it's like it's set like in the time period of William Shakespeare. But if they had one, they should let Brad Pitt be the main guy.
Well, it's a little too late for that.
Brad Pitt be Romeo? Imagine if
the Midsummer Night's Dream guy. Not Hippolyta, whatever the other name is.
I don't know, but imagine if they did film
I got shut down, man.
I just didn't know what he was saying. But imagine if they did redo like this story with adult characters instead of child characters.
They had the kid who played Archie as Romeo.
It would just be less. It would be less morbid.
Yeah, there will definitely be TikTok involved here. There wouldn't be guns as much. There would be like instead of getting shot, you would get attacked by a DDoS attack.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Back to it. Are we back? Are we back?
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Left.
it sounds like you guys were there. Why Mom sounded like she wanted to sign it off. So you want to go buy it, rent it, skip it. What is your final opinion on the film? What?
I just wanted to see where we were. No, I just wanted to see where
there is
we were at, if we were ready to buy it, rent it.
17 Midsummer Night's Dream taken has a modern
Anyway,
rendition.
somebody take Raza's mouse away from him.
So Lily Rabe is Helena.
Helena.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Midsummer Night's Dream is like the other main Shakespeare romantic comedy.
I'm pretty sure I watched
the
that
sense
in high
of theater
school.
comedy. Sorry, in the sense
I'll send it to you. A wine mom.
It's like you've got a group of like people. There's 4 lovers stuck in like a lovers' square, and then you're following a bunch of actors getting ready for a play, and then their stories like intertwine.
There you go. Does that not sound like a wine mom type beat to you, Bailey?
A little bit, yes. A little. If she likes the Shakespeare vocabulary, that's what it's the one that's held up as the Shakespeare dialogue god.
Yes.
It's not as quippy as Romeo and Juliet, but it is much more lovey and
it sets. And Bailey, the one thing, guys, I loved about Romeo and Juliet, actually, like the movie we saw, it's set in the 90s. We have this English Shakespearean dialogue, but then guess what's missing? Radiohead on the soundtrack just makes everything better. I fucking love the soundtrack of this movie.
Yeah, it was fire. It was a
good movie.
Really good soundtracking. I really liked the balance of the soundtracking a lot. It was very tastefully done.
That's Zayn Malik.
Oh my God.
Zayn Malik was in A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh gosh.
So okay, I'll start off. Buy it, rent it, skip it. I would say buy it. I'm not even a big theater fan, but if you want to have like a good staple theater movie and a fun modern 90s capsule, I think it's a good one to mix in there. I mean, I guess if you're showing it to kids, you got to be a little sensitive about what's in there, but otherwise.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I got no criticals. As I said, movie wasn't my cup of tea. I just can't deny that it was good, so I would recommend it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Right? Yeah.
All right, Raza.
Oh, I said skip the fuck no. Okay, you gotta rent it. At least because just rent it. It's an interesting movie, even if you don't like Shakespeare. It's weird because like I don't see, I can't give it a 5 out of 10 or 5 or 1 star. It's like I'm just still processing them. It's weird. So I think rent it at least. And if you like it, buy it. But I think it's a movie that you should definitely see, just to show you that like you can make adaptations work and move them around, but then still stay true to source material.
Okay. All right.
Bang bang.
I'm obviously going to say buy it.
Buy it.
Buy the special edition if you can.
Okay.
No, seriously though, I think this movie is a buy it because this is a movie that you'll want to share with your kids when you get older. I feel because it just captures that aesthetic and that era so well. But I think ultimately, if I was to remove my personal bias as far as like, because I just really like the story, set design is amazing, costume design is amazing, lighting is beautiful, the cinematography is great, character development is amazing, hold up of the traditional story, but also modernizing it and making it relevant is just really well done. Also, I personally feel like this movie is timeless. It could be released today, and I think it would still do just as good, maybe even better than it did at the time that it came out. But I think ultimately this is like the perfect everybody movie. This is one of those movies that I was talking about this with Panda like not too long ago about there's like this group of people who are talking about movies you could put on without the sound at parties so that people could like have it in the background or they could be watching it and still be able to really enjoy and follow the story. And like this is one of those movies for me. I quite often if I'm like having a bad time and I want something to like enjoy but also space out and not have to fixate on too much, this is a movie I'll put on. But the main reason why I think it's a buy, besides all of those reasons, is like if you watch this movie 5 times, you will still find something new to like about the movie to make you like it more. Because I truly feel like if you guys were to watch this movie another time, there would be another character line, another set design, another plot line that you didn't recognize before that would make you excited for the movie again. I believe so, because when I watched it the first time, I followed her story because I connected with her, and then I watched it again and I connected with him, and then I connected with the both of their story together, and also the stuff with the cop, and then when I watched it again most recently, I started to really connect with all of the brothers and cousins, like all the family members, because their stories are happening at the same time Romeo and Juliet is happening, but they're a little bit more subtle. So it's like, that's why you should own it. So you can watch it again and see those things that you miss. Because it's just one of those movies where you're going to pick up things that you missed when you rewatch it. So
I think I'm gonna put on this movie when I hang out with Alicia next. But you know,
this man's using Govy names out in these streets, dog.
I'm not saying the full name.
By the way,
you should.
Next week he's on it. You should watch our shows. Maybe you go back and check last week's.
And Harriet Bailey is dropping Panda's real name every stream, so fuck you.
Listen, that's fine. We can drop it. No, but seriously though, this movie is a good date movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is.
100%.
Like, it definitely 100%. Is.
I messaged her like, "Hey, have you seen Romeo and Juliet?" She's like, "Yeah," and like, cause we were in the same classes. Like, okay, fucking.
Yeah.
You want to watch it again? Watch it again?
Watch it. No, but I will say like, because I know we'll get into this at some point as we start doing this podcast, this version of our podcast more, because everybody has different reasons for movies, and like, I'm sure a lot of people, this is not uncommon, is like they use movies to sort of test your connection to other people. This is one of the movies that I use to test my connection with people. Okay. Because if you watch this movie and you don't at least find something in it, then like there's no way we can connect. That's just how I feel, because there's so many layers to this, and there's so many different aspects that you can connect to and appreciate. Like, especially if you like if you're a movie buff, how can you not appreciate this for like what it visually is? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree.
But that's why when I said like it's kind of a big thing to say, because I mean we all know what my number one movie is, but this movie is I think it has to be in my top 5. I would say maybe even 4 or 3, but definitely top 5.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's my point is, buy it, keep it, watch it multiple times, share it with your teenagers, with your friends. It's good.
It's good. It's very good. We need to get an MCU thing going on for Shakespeare, where they come together, all the characters from the thing.
That would be chaos.
And fight, I don't know, the Queen of England as Thanos. I don't know.
What's the weirdest Shakespeare character that could be the through line for it? You need like.
Could it be like Mecha Romeo?
Mecha Romeo. I was thinking more like a fairy or like something magical.
Oh, okay. Juliet, where art thou? Zing, zing. Here comes guns out of. You know, there's an anime for a midsummer's night dream.
Oh, there's gotta be. I'm not surprised. I'm
Yeah,
not surprised.
2005. So Bailey, bye guys. We gotta go to Let's Talk.
Hold on, Alexa. I got one more important question before we head out here, then, Raza. And I had to change it slightly because our typical question, the typical man's, he wouldn't be born yet. He would be but a glint in his father's eyes. So
He was born in 1996. Tom Cruise.
I usually say Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham.
Right.
Bo Burnham is he's 93. He's 91.
So still, math doesn't work out. We're not gonna. I was already critiquing that there was an over sexualization of teenagers, so I didn't want to make it about Bo Burnham being a kid. So. hey, I'm just trying to cover our bases. We're trying to be...
You're weird.
You're a weird guy. Weird. Okay, so, Raza, big question. Yeah. Was Tom Cruise in this movie?
He was... No, he was not. He was too busy actually shooting Mission Impossible, I think, 1 at the time. Legit, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so... My meme line was no. He wanted to play Mercutio, but the Church of Scientology wouldn't let him go on screen in a dress.
Right. So, what year did this movie come out? 96.
Yeah. He wasn't a Scientologist yet.
So you're telling me Romeo and Juliet and the first Mission Impossible were going neck and neck at the summer's box office that year? Holy shit!
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
96 to like 99, those years that everyone praises, like, oh, the pinnacle.
Yeah, Jurassic Park and shit came out then too, yeah.
But all right, fun movie facts for y'all. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time here, we hang out and chat afterwards. So if you're listening to the recorded version of this, we like to record this live so that we can hang out with our homies afterwards. You're allowed to come bug us. You can give your opinions on the movie or just shoot the shit. Otherwise... you can find us on the Instagrams, on the TikToks. We're kicking up that flow. We got 2 YouTube channels to subscribe to. And don't forget to head over to our Twitch where you can catch us on a weekly basis. The schedule is getting a bit sporadic as all our lives slightly shift. However, it's definitely still staying up and consistent. The analytics be running up. Join us with it. Come on. And hi, new listeners. Thank you for jumping in. Raza. Actually, no. We're missing the old pattern. Wine mom. You got anything else to say as we sign off?
Why mom is getting a bowl already.
Leave me alone, man.
You're grinding away.
No, that's my glass straw in my mason jar because I'm
with all that
out of a mason jar like I'm a hippie or something.
Stop smoking the weed.
That's like on my pen for, bro.
Oh.
Anyways, what were you saying? What were you saying, Bailey?
You got anything to say to sign us off? Can you sign them off? Can you tell what do you got to say to the audience? The final thing of this show to say. What do you have?
Final thing that I have to say is watch the movie. See you next week.
Epic. All right, we're going.
Oh my gosh!
Wait! Are they gone?
I put it to let's chat. Yeah, I put it to let's.
No.
My name is Jeff.
Yeah.
Never gets old. I really got to go to the bathroom, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to take this opportunity.
Oh, then.
Yeah, I'll go after you.
All right.
Are our mics live?
Woo!
Are we on BRB?
Let me check. Why
didn't he just tell me? I want to break the third wall.
I think we are. Yeah. We are on.
We're on. Our mics are live. They're not. It's not BRB. All right.
Yeah.
No tea for you guys.
No tea for you. You should watch the new or like not the 1990 or not 2017 Midsummer, but the 1999 one. Or because it has. Let me get the cast for you. 1999 Midsummer Night's Dream. It has Kevin Kline, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christian Bale, Stanley Tucci.
I like Tucci.
Tucci, yeah, I like him in Devil Wears Prada. Anna Farrell. Did you know Shakespeare's wife was named Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Did not know that. So that's why Anne Hathaway is one of the most prestigious actresses in the world right now.
LOL.
LMAO.
That's why she's aged so timelessly.
Because she's a goddess.
She's a vampire.
That's just not nice. We have a vampire in chat.
There's literally nothing wrong with being a vampire, okay?
There is. The blood sucking part and the fact that they kill you.
Right, so you mean natural selection?
Done by nature. You're right. Not by a vampire.
Natural selection. Vampires. It's natural. Okay, hold on. This is not the argument I thought we were gonna have. Why is it a vampire taking the blood and killing another person? Why is that not natural selection, but an animal killing another animal is natural selection?
Because humans don't need blood to survive. Dracula seemingly does.
But vampires do.
Yes, that's not normal.
No, but it's okay. First of all, yes. It's a common. There are things like vampire bats that exist, and
vampire bats, yes, not vampire human form.
And just so you know, human beings are actually just animals, and we know this. But for some reason, we put human beings in this weird bracket because we have this sentient thought process of this cognitive whatevers, mahoozies. That suddenly we're too civil to behave like the animals that we are, but yet we bump uglies together for fun. Come on.
See, I agree with you. 99% of what you just said. However,
make it 99.5 because
I don't have a thirst for blood. I don't think that's a normal. I don't think that's
But there are some people that do.
They should be locked up.
There are different species of human that behave that way.
Define species one. What do you mean species? What do you mean?
That are running around drinking blood.
No kidding.
I think Raza, your best defense you gotta pull out is you gotta blame this all on colonialism. The white man. The white man made it so that we see humans as a different commodity than animals.
No, we did too.
Oh.
We did too. We did too.
All right, fine.
I'm not using that card.
Listen, I don't know how we derailed into this topic, but I was telling Bailey about this weekend. You should watch, Raza, the chimp documentary series thing on Netflix.
Okay.
What's it called? Chimp Kingdom or something like that?
No, I've seen the trailers of it. It's weird timing. One for the past 3-4 weeks, my friend and I haven't been talking to each other. All we've been sending back and forth is chimp memes. I'm learning so much about monkeys for the past 4 weeks, so I need to know about. Thank you for.
Okay, but listen to me, because I really think I suggested it to Bailey because I feel like it's really something he would truly enjoy. I do think you would really enjoy it because it's very interesting. But I'll say it's probably one of the coolest and probably one of the best documentaries I've seen in like the last few years.
Is on board. Imp likes it. Imp thinks it's fire.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's literally the cinematography. Absolutely gorgeous. It's filmed absolutely beautifully, but it feels like a movie, but it's literally real life.
Have you seen any? Oh, sorry.
The just the characters of each chimp, because each chimp has like a name and has their own historical background, which the narrator gives you the name and then explains their background as to like who they are in the pack of chimps. And dude, learning about the hierarchy, I'm telling you, I was so invested.
Let me go to the washroom and if you want to learn about chimps, I will fucking. They have a ritual, which my friend explained it to me, and I had to Google it.
Weird stuff, dude. I know.
Well, But we also do the same thing too. We go to weddings.
That's the thing is, they're literally us.
They're okay.
Raza, they're literally go pee.
They're distant. They're distant.
They're literally us.
They're distant cousins to us.
We are them. No, we are them.
We have a common ancestor, and then it branched off, right?
We are them. We're just a more sentient them. That's it.
Google who our ancestors are. Please Google who our ancestors are.
I know. I'm just telling you. Anyways, go pee, bro.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, Roz is the social science expert.
I know.
You write a couple of articles on Legend of Zelda, and you think you're the top shit, eh?
Anyway. But no, I really want you to watch it. I do, because I really think you would enjoy it. Because you, if I remember correctly, you like nature docs and shit like that.
I do, but it's usually like my unwind background stuff. So if I'm gonna watch a nature doc to pay attention heavy, then I gotta make sure I set time aside.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention to this. I think it would suck your attention away from whatever you were doing anyway, because it's literally that good.
That's fair.
When I put it on, I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna enjoy this," because I don't like seeing animal stuff. As you guys know, like I won't watch movies with animal stuff because it stresses me out. And like this is a nature doc, so like animal stuff is going to happen whether I want it to or not. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to like comfortably watch this or want to watch this. And I was so invested, like on the edge of my seat. Like I put my phone down, dude, and didn't even think about it.
I like watching the animal doc specifically around the big cats because I'm a cat man.
Mm-hmm.
I like to pussycat, if you will. I remember seeing a video.
Big.
I remember watching. I think it was Planet Earth, or some shit. On Disney Plus. It was one of the big epic one, the one that won I think an Oscar. But I remember seeing. I think it was a leopard. It climbed a tree, and then leopards are already fucking.
Probably the coolest thing ever.
Cheetahs and leopards are fucking better.
Cheetahs win all day, every day.
But cheetahs get like fucking mauled by bigger cats. But so this leopard just effortlessly climbs on top of a branch. It looks at this big body, like a very treacherous. Like water underneath. It's looking down, and it jumps into the water. I'm just like, oh fuck, the leopard's dead. The water is still getting all like fizzy, and then it calms a little, and there's dead silence. And then a couple of seconds later, a fucking the leopard comes out of the water with something massive in its mouth. I forget what it's called, but it's in between an alligator and a crocodile. Like it isn't as big as an alligator, it isn't as small as a crocodile.
What are you there's a mid animal you're talking about?
I don't think there's an in between of crocodile and alligator.
No,
a skink?
It starts with a C. It starts with a C. I remember the
crocodile.
The narrator was saying it like it starts with it's C like
and an
U
alligator.
So look for
it's like a big chomper. I don't think there's any other big chompers.
It's not that big. It's smaller.
This is upsetting me because I know animals pretty well.
It's smaller.
There's an in between chompy.
The guy was saying so.
Alligator is what
species?
Alligator is what phenotype? Alligator is what phenotype?
Crocodilians?
It could have been a croc. I don't. But it was big. It was not as big as an. Like, what's an alligators are bigger, right? Or is that the crocodile?
I think the
crocodiles
are bigger, and they're the smaller
and alligators ones. Are smaller.
Yeah. So it's in between them. So it wasn't as big as the bigger one.
Was it a gator type?
Yes, it had like everything, but it was massive. It was bigger than, but it wasn't a crocodile, but smaller than a. But it wasn't. It was bigger.
Crocodilians. That's their phenotype.
Yeah, it's Pokemon World, bro.
You saying phenotype is stressing me out.
Why?
I don't know why.
So it's like because species is like when you're a crocodile
I
or
know,
like a
I
thing,
know.
and then the phenotype is like the thing that they belong to.
I know.
It could be a Nile
I
crocodile.
The Nile's the biggest one. Like the biggest one of them all.
Or American alligator, but it was massive. But it wasn't a crocodile.
Cayman. A cayman.
Cayman. That's the one. Cayman.
A cayman?
A cayman. Yes.
Why is my fucking... Let me do
Cayman.
this.
Some Googles. I got to the crocodilian page and it was there. It's listed. A
Cayman.
cayman is closer related to an alligator.
Okay, see, it's in between though, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's the one. So that's what I was. Yeah. So he got it. The alligator got that. Oh, not the alligator. The leopard. They got that.
Oh yes, yeah. They are little. They are tiny guys.
Yeah. Well, wait, what?
Croc facts. Animal facts.
They're
But
tiny
like,
guys, Raza.
have you seen a leopard or like any sort of outside of a lion just climb a tree with like a goat in its mouth? It's fucking like, I wish I could do that.
One of my favorite animals are leopards. I was obsessed with them when I was younger.
Oh, I thought you said
no, I don't have one.
One of my animals.
No, the first animal I ever obsessed over was, I think you're gonna find this so weird, is a Komodo dragon. That was the first animal I obsessed over. I did a project on them in elementary school. Like, I was obsessed. My mom was like, "Please stop talking about them. I can't handle it anymore. Like, stop talking about them." And then it was leopards.
Do you know Komodo dragons have like weak ass immune systems and they're so susceptible to?
They are apt that how they even are even still a thing.
That's I believe they're the only one of the few species out there that hasn't been
very sensitive,
interbred or intermixed or whatever. Yeah,
crossbred.
It's just because whenever I read up on there, like, oh, there's these badass creatures that Godzilla was inspired. Well, the both iguana and anaconda dragon were both inspired by or given inspiration for Godzilla, but they die very easily.
They are actually such cool animals.
They are.
Like, they're literally so cool. Like, it's crazy how cool they are.
Just imagine, like millions of years ago, there were these creatures, but like big.
But they really, to me, they really look like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things that look like dinosaurs, but these things look like a dinosaur.
Yeah. Alligators also look kind of like dinosaurs to me.
Yeah.
I'm all for the ostrich. You look at an ostrich, you're like, you belong in a different
country. Different. I go the ostrich because fuck you.
What? It's just look at how creepy and useless it is.
The birds are a cousin of dinosaurs, though. Did you not know that? Like, birds are descendant.
Yes,
you literally go to the
dinosaurs. I think
you go to the museum in the small town that I grew up in, and they have like signs all over it of like, you be aware that new science is pretty much all of these are kind of fucked. A lot of them, even the T-Rex, probably had feathers all over it.
Yeah, I was reading that like not too long ago. That a bunch of dinosaurs that we think didn't have, like. Now they're finding a lot of dinosaurs had feathers, and that to me makes them now look somewhat less intimidating. Because feathers doesn't really.
They look super cool, and then it gets on this weird like when you go there, they show the Native American drawings of dinosaurs, and they're all bright and colorful. And then now that they're adding the feathers, the dinosaurs are starting to look more like the Native American drawings of dinosaurs. It's kind of interesting how it's like matching up after we're like, oh.
And they're also finding the raptor, for example, didn't really have a roar. It had a chirp. It got closer to a chirp, not an actual like roar. Like a lot of. I
think kind of Chewbacca-y, kind of more like Chewbacca. I think is what they're trying to say. Yeah.
There's your Star Wars fix for the day, Bailey. Dude, fucking animals. Okay, like fucking monkeys. Have you seen a silverback gorilla? Like not a silverback gorilla.
All
Chimps.
right.
Chimps
Do you want to
use
hear
flesh
another?
as currency, as
I
social
know.
fucking currency.
I know. Dude,
They have
I watched the
concubines.
documentary. Listen. Yes, I
Listening.
know. I know. And you're telling me they're not like us? Come on.
I'm not saying they're not like us. I'm saying that we share a common ancestor.
We are them. Anyway,
We're not directly
when you
related
talk about we are. I don't care what you say. They're literally us. Watch the documentary and come back to me. You'll see what I'm saying.
He's technically
Watch
right,
it.
though.
Watch it. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm talking about behavioral. Anyway,
fair.
when I was a little girl, my mom used to take us to the zoo like pretty much every other weekend because that was the only thing we could afford to do is go to the zoo all the time.
Okay.
And it was like my mom's chance to like work out because she could like go for a long walk with us. Anyways, so they had a silverback gorilla there named Charlie.
Okay.
And he used to paint pictures in the zoo. And so my mom would take me there all the time. And so I would go right to because Charlie was right in the very front in a big exhibit, like right in the very front. They would move him around. He had like a few different places, but he would sometimes like, it was a small-ish exhibit for his natural habitat, but like he would sometimes just be chilling in there. And so we'd come in and like my mom would let me run up to the gorilla exhibit. And then I would sit there and go, Charlie, at the top of my lungs. And he would come out, dude. He would come out. He'd be like, my pal is here. And he would come and see me.
I'm gonna be real with you. One mom,
He knew me.
I think yeah, he did know you, and I think that meant like you were threatening him, so he wanted to fight.
No.
She's like, where's out? Where?
No, he was probably just like, this one's screaming at me again. Like, who let her in here?
Silverback gorillas are fucking like they are aggressive as hell, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah.
So if
but it's like
he had to call up his friend Harambe and let him know to watch out for them kids. You know. They're trying to spook you.
I even had like a little picture that like had like a little Charlie signature on it that my mom had in the living room on our TV stand when I was a kid because I loved him that much.
Signed it? How did Charlie sign it?
It was like finger paint signature thing, like you know what they do with animals. Really cheesy, yeah.
I imagine there's just someone in the back with a fake gorilla glove.
Yeah, or like doing Charlie's name, like as a signature.
Yeah. No, but I did really like gorillas too. They were fun.
I've never been to a zoo, so like.
What?
Are you joking?
Not a single one.
You no.
Falls, you never went to
Are
Marine
you serious?
Land?
Marine Land, I don't fucking know. Yeah, my parents.
I'm taking you to the zoo. I'm taking you to the zoo.
You're
going to the fucking zoo.
Marine Land was sad and depressing.
It's just like
when are you coming? When are you coming down here? Because I'm taking you.
Soon.
You went to the bird thing at least, right? Did you at least see the birds? And
they have less birds now for some reason.
They do. They have way less birds.
I'm sorry. I'm still not over the fact that did you go to public school?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you did not go to the zoo?
No.
There's not a zoo. There's no zoo in the Niagara region.
There is one. But it's like
you are going to the Toronto Zoo.
Okay, no, the Toronto Zoo seems lit as hell, but like the concept of a zoo to me, I just didn't really.
Okay, I agree.
I was like, I
agree. Because I mean I don't eat
which is ironic. So... I was gonna say, aren't you like...
No, trust me, I agree with you. However, there are people that work at the zoo with genuine intentions, and like the zoo is kind of also a way to study animals. And I'm at the point now where it's like, yes, I agree that keeping animals in captivity is not cool, but we've also been able to save species through the zoo. I mean, obviously it's not perfect solution, but it is some sort of continuation of the species, at least for the scientific knowledge of it.
Yeah.
But of course, all of the bad things that exist, I'm fully aware. But I also have this weird thing that I think about a lot, because we talked about this before during the pandemic. The Toronto Zoo hosted a drive-through option where you could pay and you would get to go where all of the zookeepers go that you wouldn't normally be allowed to go. So you could see a lot of animals from the back of their exhibit, which was way better views than like going through the actual zoo.
Is it up close, right? Or is it
it's way closer, and it's very different, but you're in your car, so it's safe, right?
Okay.
But I struggled with buying that. So I ended up buying it to take my mom and my grandmother because I wanted to give them some enrichment, but also like my mom loves the zoo just as much as I do. Right. So I ended up buying the tickets, and in my mind, it's like, if we don't fund the zoo, yes, we could technically stop it from continuing, but also think about all the animals currently in captivity that are needing us to survive, and like who don't have natural instincts anymore.
Yeah, no,
like their bloodlines have been so
Yeah, I just think that it just they're like I know that there's a like now they're stricter with zoos now. If you want to have a zoo, you have to be a little bit more, actually not even a little bit more, like a lot more with what you do. And that's why, like, I think I've seen a lot of programs for zoos where it's like, if you want to like know about these animals or donate to help protect, like, so, because what I'm noticing now is that they're starting a lot of these zoos in Europe, I think started them, is that they're starting to rehabilitate the animals. They're like, after a certain amount of time, they go send them back into, or they send them into the,
so they have over the years they have attempted to put some back. But I think, like, ultimately, like, think about like what happened with that orca that had been living in, I think it was Marineland, in one of the parks. And just recently died. And like, that kind of stuff makes me really sad, but that was because at that time everybody was like, fuck Marineland. And everybody started to pull out and stop going, and like a lot of things got exposed, and then that poor animal literally just swam in a circle with no enrichment whatsoever. Like, at least when people were going, it was getting like new scenery, new people, new faces, like interaction from the keepers and stuff like that. Like, that stuff makes me sad, because that's a great loss for that animal,
No, it is, and like, and I think, like, not every animal should be in a zoo. It's only like ones that you can, like, and first of all, if you're doing it for protective measures too, right? So like, I don't think sea animals should be. That's
water stuff.
Definite. Big no right there. But like, if you're gonna have a monkey or like the lion and stuff for protective measures, then it's easier to do. You can have a large, massive. I think that's gonna be my next movie. Matt Damon's We Bought a Zoo. I think that, like, because like, if you're gonna have a large amount of land, then you should be able to put animals that can use that land. So don't put anything, and keep it. I'm gonna go a little bit harder and say, if you're gonna have a zoo, only, and it's gonna be local, sourcely. You know what I mean? Local.
I agree.
If you want to see a cheetah, go for fucking Africa.
I agree. Because that's something, like, because in Canada we had to move. We had to move. I can't remember what it was. There was some animal we had to.
Elephants for a while.
Elephants. No, but I think we had to move them out of Toronto because it was the summer. It was just way too hot for them, or the winter. Sorry, was way too cold for them, and they were suffering, and like they weren't able to like have their natural cycle properly. So we had to ship them away. And like there was talks of like shipping them away and then bringing them back, and it's like, that's another thing too, is like these animals that we have in captivity, such as like elephants, they are so fucking sensitive, but yet we have them in our zoos, and we like they don't live long lives. Even though it's technically a cushy, safe life living in a zoo, it's not a good natural life because they're so sensitive that they require specific environments which they are from. And then when you bring up the water stuff, so it's like it's complicated because I love seeing the undersea creatures. I'm also a big advocate for like there's so much about the water on Earth that we know nothing about that like I feel like we really need to work on.
We had a podcast on that.
I know. I remember. But it's like that's a big, very important thing to me. But I always the one thing that always really makes me upset is jellyfish.
Yeah.
Because they require very specific environments and like it's been said that through research is like they can feel extreme pain. And if their water and stuff is off balance or like their environment's not right, like they suffer greatly. And so I always think about people who buy those like jellyfish tanks to have in their home.
Yeah.
And it makes me just want to like punch them right in the mouth.
Goldfish too. People who buy goldfish don't realize that small of a goldfish is not. They're not goldfish.
Normal.
They're big, and so they're in pain internally, screaming while they're swimming in this tiny thing. So
and it's like, doesn't that like break your heart? This is why.
Does. That's why, like, if I get a pet, if I have kids and I get a pet, we're only going to get pets that. First of all, it has to be a cat. We're not getting anything else. But if we're going to get a pet, it needs to be a pet that's like, you have the space to use, like, to
properly care for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I agree. And it's like I grew up around like I don't know if I've ever talked about this on here, but I literally had this conversation not too long ago with a friend because I was talking about like the kind of animals that I grew up around because like I'm a super dog person and we know this. Like I don't think human beings deserve to live alongside dogs because they are so much better than us. I'm sorry.
Fucking where did that come from?
I'm sorry, but they are so much better than us. Like their hearts are so much better than us. But no, so when I was a little girl, my mom had this friend that lived in the building that I live in now. She used to live here. And she was basically my aunt because she was like my mom's like longtime best friend. I'd known her my whole life. And she was like a crazy animal lady. She had chinchillas, she had rats, she had snakes, she had geckos. She had like different aquatic animals. She had a big Oscar fish, which if you've ever seen an Oscar fish, they're really cool. They're very smart. They're fun. And she had, which was my favorite, she had a big, huge iguana. Like a huge iguana. And because iguanas are basically like house cats, which people don't realize that. They're very much like house cats. And his name was Manson, after Marilyn Manson.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And God damn it, but so like he was her best friend. So like he
Marilyn
would
Manson
come.
was?
No, well, yeah, the
ignore me.
The iguana. No, but it's like it was so cool to see because when you think of like a reptile, you don't think about the emotional connection or development that they have. People write them off as like dumb lizards, you know?
Right, yeah.
And he was so smart and so emotionally intelligent. Like he loved her so much. She could be laying in the other room, so like he would be with us on the couch and she would be laying in the other room and she would call him and he would get up and go to the room to be with her.
Shit. Like a dog.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like they're like animals are so cool and people are so stinky and don't understand how like cool animals are.
Yeah, dude. Like,
and they're so smart.
I've seen my cat about to attack something. She was like,
click.
And then I googled why she's doing it. Like you know how when you have a Pokemon card, it shows like the attack and then the effect, like the passive ability that the Pokemon has. Every animal except for humans have a passive ability. So for like this thing the cat does, it warms up their jaw before attacking, and it's also a prehistoric thing in their DNA.
Yeah, the ecking. When they do the ecking, they're trying to also like mimic the sound of
and
birds.
Freak out the fucking bird too. So whenever I see my cat, it's just like you're not they're faster than you. You know that, right? But it's super interesting. The other thing, octopuses.
Yes.
Apparently,
Octopi.
I don't know 100%, but apparently they have found that octopuses, like throughout all the animal species and all the classes and families and genomes out there, octopuses do not share DNA with, because everything on planet Earth shares DNA, right? At least 0.0001 down the line, but octopuses apparently don't share anything with us. In other words, they're considered an alien species. Squids do, which is weird, but not aliens. No, octopuses. Yeah.
Strange.
So it's fucking weird, but what
but like
about no, but like living with animals and stuff like that. Like I think my mom grew up with a bunch of animals. So like, she's just not anything as intense as an iguana. Maybe a cow or a horse and stuff, but
which I think is equally just as cool, honestly.
Yeah. Do you know horses are not native to North America? Bailey brought them in.
I believe you.
It was the Ukrainians, the Romanians and shit. All the
I was just
brought the horses.
I
just think like
that.
Animals are like literally so, and I don't know, like people are so like, people who are like, oh, I'm not really an animal lover. What is actually wrong with you? Like, are you fundamentally broken? Like,
leave the house.
Like what?
Like, at least honestly, one time in the day, you have to see at least one animal if you're on the internet.
Let me tell you, I love animals so much that even the sky rats excite me. Okay, the sky rats, birds.
Oh.
Specifically, the most rattiest one is Canadian geese, but they're actually so cool, and people don't really realize like how cool and like their flight patterns and like their social circle and like how they care for each other is actually really cool. But so I was showing somebody the other day, so I was at work and this mama Canadian goose, whatever, was walking with her little babies. And I was so excited to see her walking around with her little babies. Mind you, I see them every weekend at the beach I go to. I see them all the time. I see swan babies all the time. I was so excited to see them. Like, I'm filming them and I'm like so excited. And then I told somebody about it afterwards and they were like, yeah, like whatever. We see them all the time. And I'm like, so how are you not excited every single time you see them?
Yeah, seeing deer, like seeing just a Canadian geese with their little parade of
with their babies,
I fucking like sorry. I'm just like, I have to stop. I have to take pictures of this every fucking time. I'm just like, I thought I was the only one. I got out of the car like, I got this is gonna go to grab. Look at dude. Whenever I see animals and like whenever I see deers walking at night now, they're just chilling on my lawn, shitting there. I'm just like, do whatever you need. I'm just taking it back for you.
I love it so much. I like just seeing them like just doing their thing, living their lives.
My mom and I have set up like various bird feeders in our backyard for various different species. Yeah. And it's like a bird kingdom in our backyard.
Dude, can I move in?
If you want to.
I want to move in. I want to live there. I want to live your birds with your mom.
I've seen about 3 or 4 different species of finches. There's a red one I discovered this year, which are slightly bigger than the golf ball yellow ones. And fucking, I've discovered how blue jays are just territorial dicks. Blue jays and pigeons are fighting for fucking. It's those two for some reason. It's just every time it's just those two fighting for turf, and also the cardinals, bro. The amount of cardinals we get, it would be like as the Soviets are coming back. Dude, so many.
It's like, I don't know. Animals just make me so happy and so excited, and I love seeing them.
Animals do, bro. And then, but the only problem thing, I think we have a rat problem now. It's starting to fuck around.
But you know what? That's our fault, if the truth be known. Because what do you think an animal is going to do when you have an environment full of like garbage? There's food everywhere for them to eat. It's our fault.
Yeah, and there's also dirty. And people like don't cut their lawns too. They're coming from our neighbors.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but also, this is the big thing. When people complain to me about raccoons, zero sympathy. I give no sympathy for complaining about raccoons because it's your fucking. We are in their city, in their homes. We came into their homes and destroyed them.
This is literally the same answer Bailey gave me.
Where do you want them to go? Where do you want them to go?
To a forest, maybe.
This is a natural environment, and we built houses in it. What do you want them to do?
You're right.
There's a raccoon burrowed in my roof and wrecked it.
It's always crazy to get the raccoon stories from people I know actually live in the bush and how like raccoons are like vicious hunters when they're in the forest.
That's exactly
they're little trash pandas.
Because we've ruined them.
I assume in Toronto trash pandas behave differently than.
They're like cats, bro.
Here they're like chunky. They don't care.
Oh yeah, ours are chunky. They don't care, but they will attack you. I assume you guys get attacked. For the last 2 nights in a row.
They may scream at you, but they won't really.
Oh no, these ones get all fucking. For the last 2 nights in a row, at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I hear a big thud, and I open up my window. I see a fucking raccoon, just casually doing like. I'm having lunch. This is my lunchtime. I'm fucking. What are you gonna open the door? I have to use my cat as a deterrent. But I'm like, Monty, you're up. Go. Fucking. Get rid of it. And the cat's like, well, I'm gonna go inside now. So it's like it's every like. Raccoons are great. I fucking love. They're adorable. It's just. If they're gonna do something, how about you do something during business hours when everybody's awake?
No.
It would be so nice for me because I can sleep.
They're nocturnal.
Welcome.
Yeah, but why did we as human beings who sleep at nighttime, that's our natural cycle, why did we go, hey, let's build right in the middle of where all these nocturnal creatures are? Because we're dumb.
Call these things called thumbs. Once man got thumbs, we fucking wreck shit. And I guess we just became, because of our brain power, we just zoomed to the top and we said, decimation. And then they did that.
Have you seen those TikToks of people who have pet raccoons and they just hang out with the raccoon as he like fiddles with stuff?
Yeah.
And it's fucking
or skunks. Or skunks or stuff like that.
Almost like the stomping pet skunks are fucking cute too. I'll give you that.
They're so cute. I knew
fucking white people and not getting normal animals as pets, for God's sakes.
Panda's whining that you'll defend raccoons being nocturnal, but not him.
Okay.
You're not. Oh, I get it.
Totally different ball game. I'm sorry. You are a human being not living within your natural cycles. That's your problem, dude. Raccoons did not ask for us to come in and ruin the vibe.
I believe I'm living in my natural habitat, and therefore a raccoon is in my natural habitat. He's ruining my ecosystem.
You know what, Raza? We were meant to be naked. We were meant to be naked in a forest, washing your nuts in a river. Okay. Not
sleeping all night. That doesn't mean you slept all night. You were fucking shitting yourself because a cougar's about to eat you. You're waking up every 4 hours to check if your wife hasn't gotten eaten.
Most animals have a night cycle, and human beings are those animals.
I think
you would have had a watch. You would have had all these things to worry about at night. You're not getting a smooth 8 hours sleep
But it would be a cycle or a job and a routine, and our body would be adapted and would.
I agree with what Wine Mom is saying because in modern day we have all these distractions.
With us, right? It's just we're spoiled little bitch babies who have everything at the tips of our fingers.
Yeah, they had a system, they had a schedule, but seriously, Wine Mom, I'd pick having these unnatural distractions over knowing if my family has not been eaten up by a fucking saber.
Listen, I don't disagree. I do enjoy the luxury of technology, but I'm not going to give sympathy to people who complain about animals living in their natural environment because we decided to live here. Listen, up north,
God told me.
People
so
live,
God told me.
No, listen to me. Listen, a lot of people who live up north or who have cottage properties or live like more bush lifestyles, they don't complain about animals. They're like, I live here amongst them. It's their space. I'm living here with them.
Wait till they try to invade their territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't do that because they have their own territories and they just kind of meander around.
I know a lot of people who's got some shotguns for bears. You know what I mean? That they don't got no mace for bears. They got shotguns.
So let me just let you want to talk about this. Let's talk about bears. Yeah. What do human beings do that attracts bears?
Fuck.
Leave our half-eaten garbage. No, leave our half-eaten garbage food in insecure Tupperwares or containers or not secure places, and then we're like, oh no, the bear keeps coming to our house where we have a big, huge buffet in a bucket. Oh my god!
Have you ever seen a bear just nonchalantly go up to a family?
Which I agree, but I'm saying that these same lazy foxes.
It's different everywhere, though. You know, like not bears. Like bears don't exist in every single bush area. I assume there's probably designated. So I assume, like I assume different bushmen out there have to deal with different bush problems, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So let's just say that Wine Mom is apparently pro mosquito according to Panda.
Oh my gosh, I'm not pro mosquito. I mean, we are like we're in their fucking zone. If that's how they survive, that's how they survive.
I don't want to get west now.
Listen, I don't like it either, bitch, but that's the reality. Like that's just part of living in their environment. It's the same thing as like human beings living amongst other human beings. Do you know how many people that live in the area that I live in that I hate? But guess what? We both live here. We have to cohabitate. It's too bad. I think some of them might do.
Then they should seek psychiatric help.
Well, it's a little too late for them for that. I'll tell you that much.
Oh. What?
Anyway,
wait, you know a cannibal? What is this? This is some news.
Dude. Listen, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. It's just people who don't know how to cohabitate. Human beings can't cohabitate with each other, and then we also can't do it with animals. But we'll bitch at animals who just do what animals do. They just be doing what they do. People be like, "Oh my god, why do seagulls eat French fries?" I'll tell you why. Because humans throw their French fries on the ground, and they've eaten them, and now they're like, fast food tastes pretty good, just like all of our dumbasses.
So come to me when a fucking group of cheetahs build a Walmart, one of the greatest institutions to mankind. Right, dude?
Be realistic. Be realistic.
Come to me when an animal builds roads, builds these great homes.
Are you gonna sit there and tell me? Are you gonna sit there? Are you gonna sit there and tell me that the animal in your life does not bring you significant joy and enrichment and value?
Not on the same level as a Tower of Pisa or the
You're saying Walmart. You're saying Walmart is better than the cat.
Kind of, because I can get things.
Yeah, and the Raza's relationship with his cat is kind of one like creator and subject, you know, like it's just really his benefit out of his cat ownership is he feels like he can exert power over something.
That's weird.
That's a little depresso.
That's weird. Is that is that what's going on for you, the thing between you and your kitty?
Yeah, it's all a big power structure. I'm just
mine is just like real. You're only here so I can take pictures.
Rule Bailey, like let's be real.
Oh no, my cats are fire. I've earned their trust now. But they do try to trick me with food.
Now
trying to trick me with food. Yeah.
See, they see like Bailey's equal. Bailey's their equal.
They trust me now, so now it's like they're at the point of like they try to get food out of both of us. So they try to get double dins.
I think I've taught my cat she can only get like food when there's no food, which is all the time.
Here's the thing. See, but here's the thing. Animals are so smart. Like this is why I say like I love dogs so much, because they're so smart that like a dog can live amongst 5 human beings and know each human being significantly well in order to manipulate them.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like my mom's dog, she I don't want to admit it, but she's got me absolutely manipulated. Only because I don't live with her. If I lived with her, I wouldn't allow her to get away with this much stuff. But I literally will feed this dog from my own spoon. Something I swore I would never do.
Right on.
Somehow I'm feeding this dog from a spoon. And my mom's like, don't do that, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
There's
Raza's
something
trying not to insult you. Raza's usually if I said
It's
that,
the
he'd
end
be
of
calling
my
me you fucking white scum. He'd be saying some
we
wild
don't
shit
share.
to me.
We don't share the spoon. We don't share the spoon. It's like I gave her a frozen yogurt at the end of my yogurt, so I fed it to her with a spoon instead of her making her lick it out of the styrofoam cup.
Yeah.
I was like, here's a little spoonful for you because you're so cute.
I would okay, I do like dogs, but other people's dogs. I couldn't own a dog, you know? If I hung out with like your dog, Wine Mom, I fucking would love it to death.
Oh, you would love her.
I wouldn't be like, I want a dog now, because I see all the time and effort. All my dog friends, the amount of fucking time and effort they put into the dog is, and I'm super supportive. Like, at least they're giving their dog a good, comfy life, and they should, right?
No, but continue. But
I'm just like, yeah, you ain't catching me paying for $100 fucking foot stair just so that they can get up the. And like, I do like the fact that I can just open the sliding door and my cat can just run out.
I mean, a lot of people do that with dogs.
But for the fact that you have to walk, I don't like. It's just like, again, doing all the extra shit, like walking it, making sure it's not eating.
But
bullshit.
But listen, Raza, I have a valid argument for you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you go for a walk on a regular basis for yourself? And just yes or no answer.
Not often anymore.
But there was a time where you were going quite often.
Yes.
And was it nice? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it?
Sort of, yeah.
Did it make you feel happy? Did it give you some sort of something?
Yeah.
If you had a dog, guess what? You'd be forced to do that thing that made you happy and gave you some sort of enjoyment every day. You'd be forced to do it. And then you would still you would still enjoy it. Nope. Okay. It's not true. My mom literally, she got a dog. When we got the dog, it was so that she would walk more.
Yeah.
And like, that's her favorite thing in the entire world, is going for a walk with a dog. She loves it. It gives her so much joy. Even on the days when she doesn't want to do it, she still enjoys it so much.
So like, I would do like, okay, so for my high school like credits and stuff, I had to, like, I think you need like 90 credits to graduate. So I have to do 90 hours or volunteering or some shit like that. So I used to shovel this guy's driveway in the winter and then walk his dog during the summertime. That was great. That was fun. Like I like doing like the stuff with like hanging out with the dog, like all that stuff. But like owning, like just the day-to-day stuff, I would not. It just seems too much for me, because it's just like, I've seen all of my friends, again, they're just saying, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that for the dog. All of my dog friends do it, and then my cat friend is just like, I just let it eat dirt.
You know what? It's weird.
Go
ahead, Bailey. No, go ahead.
It's why I'm excited. I'm so excited when I get to the point of having the farm, because my ultimate in between, what I want so bad is like a farm dog. I want like a husky farm dog. You build him his own little shed. He's got a home.
He just does his own shit.
Everything. Yeah, and you come out, he's stoked to see you, but he's living his own life and he's outdoors. Yeah. It's like, I'm so excited for that. And then it's the in between. It's like part cat, part dog, because I've got him responsive and trained, but he just does his own thing. I bring him food and water. He's got a home.
I don't want to do any high maintenance about it. I just do all like what I would do for a cat, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think that's peak dog ownership. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's up, Daddy Pandy?
I just feel like having a pet brings so much enrichment to your life.
Yeah.
Like, even just like, so I've told you guys, I've had cats growing up and I liked cats growing up, but I would never say that I'm a cat person. But since getting Avocado,
you're dead to me.
I said I would say I wasn't a cat person. But since having Avocado, I've really become like a cat person, because my bond with her is very different than when I had pets like cats when I was a kid. Dogs I was able to bond with differently because they required responsibility, and I was forced to like connect with them that way. Like my mom would make me let them out for lunch and take them for walks and do that kind of stuff. But with a cat, like they kind of just live and you don't really have to connect with them. But with her, I've had to connect with her because it's just me and her here, and she relies on me for her social enrichment. So it's been a different connection.
No, yeah, I agree.
I just think animals are better than us.
And there's also something about hanging out with your pet or just cuddling up with your pet that releases endorphins. I know whenever I'm in my sad moments after a stream with Bailey, I just hang out with my cat and I feel very, very happy afterwards.
It's just fetal position, petting his cat and crying after every stream. I
fucking hate marching into madness now, man. I can suck my dick. And by that, I mean Bailey can.
Feelings are hurt.
I know. Anyways, how are you doing, Panda?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rough life.
You went to get Half-Life? Oh, okay. That sucks. That's unfortunate.
I didn't want to crash, but since you guys were on the topic of animals, you guys are familiar with the streamer Melina, who is
is this going to be a sad story I don't want to hear about?
No, Destiny's wife.
Oh, yes. Okay, that helps. Okay. Yes. Okay.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who this is either.
Bread tuber.
Yeah. So I'm, again, I've expressed that I'm not very political, but given, I don't like her in Destiny personally, but they've been going on edgelord streams, including Sneeko, and she was on Sneeko's stream and said something like, because she's a vegan, and she was like, people who eat animals are on the same line as people who have relations with animals.
Oh.
And I'm
that's
curious.
A little extreme. If you're asking my opinion, that's a little extreme. I do think we're gross for eating them, but also, again, I don't eat them. That's my choice because I just don't believe in the whole, this animal is the prime one that we can eat versus others. I just why do it at all? You can live other ways. Just how I feel. It's a respect thing. But also within the natural animal shut up. Also within the natural animal cycle, it is normal for animals to eat each other or eat other types of animals. That's a natural thing that exists. So if you eat animals, whatever, that's your thing. But I would not. That's no.
Aren't we
totally different?
Aren't we as humans omnivores though? Like naturally?
No.
We're not omnivores. Okay, never mind. Whoops.
We are now. It's complicated. Yeah. There's it's very complicated.
I know certain meats.
A lot of research has been done over this, and everyone's going to fight over it, and there's always going to be a different opinion. And yes, we do have different types of teeth, as Cody was trying to show. We all do have different types of teeth. However, it's called evolution, and when you evolve, your species changes.
Yeah.
A lot of things that we used to be able to do, we no longer can do because we're a bunch of pussies living in this nice, comfy lifestyle. But there's research that said back in the day, there's skulls that didn't have canines, and they only had vegetable eating.
So what you're saying, Wine Mom?
Point in time.
So what you're saying, Wine Mom? Monkeys and humans had a common ancestor, and the one offshoot had teeth,
Raza,
and the other one.
We're not talking about that. Okay, get over it. They are us in personality.
I hate you
Raza.
so much.
I'm not saying that you're wrong about the connection of DNA. I agree. I'm just saying they're so much more like us than we actually realize.
100%.
But
100%.
Anyway, the whole thing that I'm saying is your diet is a personal choice. Do your thing, but also do your research, have good knowledge, know what you're talking about, and don't always use the most cliche argument of we're omnivores or we're carnivores or we have canines or we're supposed to eat meat. That's how we're built. It's
I don't
no,
sound
we're
like
not.
that.
but it's like, no, we're not. Do your research, double check yourself, because
human beings, this is very debated.
It's not pretentious.
Definite,
it's not pretentious.
It's contentious. Like, it is highly debated. Like, there's a
That's
lot
what I
of
mean.
facts pointing in two different ways right now.
Exactly.
I also read
but it's
that
like,
milk is something.
I was just gonna get into that, Raza.
Yeah.
Human beings are so gross. The kind of stuff that we consume from animals is actually literally so gross. But we don't think about it because it's just normal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And also human beings, like, we are the only species that drink some milk from another animal.
Yeah, because we've evolved above.
No, what are
okay, so you're
stomachs...
dumb because that's not true. Human beings are not supposed to consume dairy because our systems are not built to handle it. And that's why people who are like, oh, I'm lactose intolerant. No, you're a human and you're not supposed to consume an obsessive amount of dairy products.
Some people would argue that we can handle dairy. It's just the modern pasteurization and the modern version of dairy that our diets can't handle.
Have you seen what natural dairy looks like? We probably could not survive that. That's why there's
a lot of people who survived on yogurt, you know what I mean, of multiple different cultures and descents and different heritages.
Listen, I'm not saying it's impossible or whatever. And listen, you have to think also about. I agree. No, you're making excellent points. I gotta stop. No.
You are making excellent points, though. I'm just pointing out that
but
there's
I mean,
also
but think
another
about,
side to the coin.
But it's not right. But it's not even just diet. It's like the human body itself. Like when you look at different cultures and races and backgrounds of human beings in different geological locations around the world, like there are some humans that still have very primal features because of the environments they live in. Like, and you'll see those people like in Canada as well, like because people travel around the world, but it's like a very broad brow bone is very popular in very sunny climates. And those people still have those features within their families because of the environments that they live in. Whereas like when we're in places like that don't require those things, we don't look like that. We don't have those like distinct features.
I'm pretty sure we're like, because like I know like the whole milk thing, because of like in Pakistan we have like natural there's no infrastructure to make it
pasteurized milk.
Yeah, like so. What's happening is that they're having pure milk, and a lot of them are like just willing to drink it, but they still get sick, and that's what they're finding out, that like, because the stomach isn't lined up properly to deal with but I think that's different all over the place, you know. Because Pakistan has never had that. India has a different story, so I think it just depends on where it's from. Even like meat, I know meat, for example, like beef and steak and whatnot. The reason why it's so slow to process because we're not supposed to we're not supposed to, or there's a whole bunch of factors, but chicken and stuff like that is easier on us because of like how our system works.
It's kind of like human beings are kind of like, I guess because of where we sit on the scale of like, I guess we're more developed as far as like tools in order to be on the top of the food chain per se, I guess. But we're technically we're like the animal that eats a lot of vegetables but then also eats bugs. That's kind of like what I think of humans, because that's basically what we're like. We eat a lot of produce and a lot of processed stuff like grains and veggies and fruits and rice and different liquids and oils and shit like that. We eat a lot of that, but then we also eat very easy animals. So essentially we're basically eating bugs. That's kind of how I see it in a weird way.
No, like I think that you and I will agree on a lot of this, because it's like, as a Muslim, for example, like I've been taught mass consumption of meat isn't like, I mean, meat is fine. It's a big part of our religion. It's like a part of our thing, but like mass consumption of meat is like, my biggest issue. You're not even supposed to have meat. Yeah, exactly. You're not even supposed to have meat all the time. It's not even good for you all the time.
Exactly.
Supposed to mix it up with shit. So that's why, like,
okay.
Yeah.
So with your argument, right? What you're saying is accurate. I choose not to eat meat because it just creeps me out, and just because I just feel differently, right, about animals and stuff.
Meat in general isn't the best for you, though.
Yeah. If I was told by a doctor, like, you absolutely have to do this certain amount of stuff, like, I would do what I needed to do if I had to do it. I choose to not do it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, you think about when you look at different species, right? So because we were talking about chimps a lot, right? Let me talk about them more. In their natural environment, right? They eat a lot of produce, so much as like natural stuff, leaves, trees, fruit, bugs, like more so that kind of stuff. And now they will eat other animals, but it's very, very far and few between. And it's purely out of a ritual more than anything else, really, if you look at it. And it's like, that's where human beings have disconnected, where we're like, oh, well, animals do it. So like, and we're animals, we're just the smarter animals.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
It's also our intelligence has made us super hyper aggressive into these things. Then we're like, we figured out, oh, we can do it and it's a slaughter a small amount. Why not do it at a larger scale? And this is what they're doing. Like, it's only in North America. This is why you're seeing like Canadians and Americans are big. They're on the big side, right? And you go to Europe, everywhere else in the world, they don't eat that much meat. Like, meat is like a very specifically, like, it's more of a thing here. Everywhere else, because I know in Pakistan, for example, meat is a luxury. Like, you're not gonna if you are a poor family, poor in Pakistan is different than being poor. You're not getting much here in Canada. You can still eat meat, just not the best selection, but you still have it. In Pakistan, it's considered, and all over the world, it's like considered a more of a delicacy than an actual like part of your meal.
Well, because that's the thing, is like, so people always, I shouldn't say people, vegans. I know that I may be part of them, but the thing is, like, there's certain groups of vegans that like take shit way too far and don't actually, like, they're not actually focusing. It's very much about, like, they don't do it out of, I don't know how to explain what I'm explaining, but essentially, like, they'll attack people
for their own sense. They don't do it for themselves.
Just right, because you think about like the way that vegan community attacks the native community, and like how they function. Oh, bro, go on the internet a little bit more.
Yeah, there's still,
get into some deeper pools.
TikTok, it's some crazy infighting because they're
like
still killing animals and
they go after them hard. But what they also don't understand is, like, native communities can kill one animal and feed an absurd amount of people for a very long time.
And use
and they also use every resource that comes from that animal. Like, there is nothing that is wasted. So it's like, in that sense, like, that is a very respectful, which you probably get this, Raza, because it's like in your communities is halal meat is a common thing. So it's like, it's done with respect, so it's a little bit easier to understand. Because especially like as humans, if we really are these like sentient, way smarter, way more developed and intellectual people, why are we so barbaric, really? You know what I mean?
Easy peasy. Right? You don't, it just,
that's
it's
what I'm
easy
saying.
that's
what I'm saying.
It's money. It's just like, it's going back to the halal thing. Like, even Muslims, like, the reason why halal meat's so expensive because they don't do it. It's just like they grow the cow or the chickens in a specific way, and it's eating natural food. It isn't actually, and when you get halal meat, it's not as beefy or as plumpy as North American, like, white people.
Right, because they give them a natural life. They try to provide as much of a natural, respectful life as they can. That's the difference. Like,
100%.
not that I'm like, okay, I'm 100% on the bandwagon, but I can respect and understand it.
Yeah,
when it's done the right way.
It's also a good way to sustain the environment because you're also kind of keeping the natural order in check rather than doing in like the massive way to do it where you're just fucking in waves and stuff. You're just doing a few hundred a month or something.
Well, it's like the human beings will complain about the way that animals destroy things, but yet we'll put a bunch of cows because for some reason cows are just like easy target because they just moo and meander around. So like, let's just take a bunch of them and give them one of the most toxic lives that we physically can, and then be shocked when they have all these gases and destroy our environment and ruin our ozone layer. And then we're like, oh my gosh, the massive meat consumption that we do is destroying our environment. That's the very greedy, selfish thing that we do to have what we want. Oh my god! Like, shut up, dude.
And there's also kind of an upside that I don't eat pork, so pigs fucking pork.
Yeah,
I've had,
and that's another thing. Pigs are gross, bro. I love them too, but they're nasty.
Yeah,
you eat that?
They hang out in their own doo doo.
That's gross, bro.
That's like me hanging out in. Sorry, guys. What are you guys up to? What's two other white dudes?
Sorry, you guys got me
in the podcast.
You picked my thing, Raza.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of picture a thing because you went off about monkeys and we went down the rabbit hole.
Because I really want you guys to watch that. I really do. Like,
have you seen Planet Earth?
Recommend it. Yes, I've seen Planet Earth. My grandmother went out and bought it when it first came out, when it was really fucking expensive to buy.
Oh.
She bought it and she was like, this will be in our family for years so that you and your cousins and then my grandkids, my great-grandkids. I'm like, okay, Nan. I don't know where it is now.
Bailey's grandparents gave him a carton of smokes and be like, hey, kick it to the car. There you go.
That's so mean. Why are you so mean?
No, my grandparents took me to ride horses and stuff as a kid. They were
different enrichment.
Different enrichment, yeah. Just riding. That's why he's so good at it.
That's why I'm a natural. It's not a problem. That's fucking hilarious.
My parents took me to the zoo and said, "This is where you came from." So.
So Panda, what movie did you pick for next week?
It's Bailey's turn.
Yeah, I was saying that I fucked up. We might have. I don't know. I thought it was
your turn, Panda.
But I could be wrong.
I did last, and then Bailey. Oh wait, it is your turn.
No, because Panda picked the nice guys. I realized was the error. I thought it was Raza because it was the nice guys.
So then you're okay.
I'm picking an anime film of some sort. I have to run one by Wine Mom to see if it's too sad for her liking.
I almost
if I don't make fun of it too hard.
I was almost gonna do an anime too, but then Panda reminded me, and so I was like, okay, I'll do a different.
Thank you, Panda.
But just tell me what it is, Bailey. Like, message it somewhere.
It's probably in hentai or something like that.
But the thing is, like, as much as I don't like sad stuff, I do enjoy anime sad stuff because it's usually prettier than Western sad stuff.
I like of age stuff too. Myself, so I don't.
Oh, really? All right.
I like when normal people talk about normal things.
That's
what you guys were watching.
So weak. Laugh at such bad memes. So weak.
I've never seen this one, and it's a classic.
I was literally about to ask Bailey without reading the caption. Is this about World War II? And then I read the caption and.
Bailey.
Bailey.
Too sad.
To be amazing.
Bayley Nargang.
But also
is this the G Studio?
Yeah, Ghibli.
No, bro.
Yeah. So it's gonna be good.
Do it.
Okay.
I can't do it. It's on my watch list. I might throw up if I watch
this one's on the watch list.
Hey, well, why, Mom?
I've been avoiding it. Yes.
Yeah, like I watched your movie and I didn't forget to.
Wait, did you guys talk about Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Raza, I didn't forget to. I started a new job and everything was chaotic and I couldn't function. And then it was too late to start the movie.
Yeah, you know what I did? I saw the movie today. No, I'm kidding.
Well, do you want to hear? You want to hear a little secret?
No.
Okay.
She hasn't watched it in like 2 weeks, but she watches it so regularly that she knows it by heart.
That wasn't the secret.
What's this? I don't. I
Raza
feel like
doesn't want to know, so I ain't gonna tell him.
Tell me the
He's a little
secret.
bitch
You
boy.
can't dangle a carrot and be like, no.
But you said no. You said you didn't want to hear it.
I say no to a lot of things, but it's
Yeah.
like
So
maybe.
are you sorry for being a brat?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did
Yeah.
not watch the movie before this podcast.
The Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my god.
I did not.
Oh, okay,
I
that's
just
okay.
Cody was right. I just have watched that movie so much, and actually
Yeah.
not that long ago, that I didn't need to watch it again.
I started it
I also
last
didn't
night,
have time, so
like late last night, and I passed out, and I finished it today.
okay. So Cody, did you watch the podcast or no?
No.
Bitch.
Okay. So we did the. I'll do it with you now because you weren't there for it, and I know you watched the movie. So the movie, you can do it. Rent it, buy it, or skip it.
Buy
Mamma
it
mia.
And why?
because the cover art's beautiful.
Okay, but Cody, like, why?
Because it's
not just buy it because it's pretty, like,
because it's iconic in the script of Shakespeare, as in his writing, and plus it's a unique vision, and it's kind of the iconic 2000s vibe. And
it's 96, both
late
of you.
90s. Late 90s. It's late 90s, early 2000s, but it is 90s.
Leo before his prime, and he's really good.
He was edging to his prime.
Paul Rudd
is funny.
Ant-Man.
I like the
Dude,
dumb
come on.
look.
You're laughing
It's like-
at yourself because you know that you're dumb right now. Let's be serious.
Again, like, the cover art's beautiful. It's an iconic movie. You're obsessed with death for some reason.
I am morbidly obsessed with death. No, but I said buy it because I feel like it's the kind of movie that is meant to be shared with, like, younger people in your life. Like, because I specifically shared it with my 18-year-old cousin recently because she's becoming a film buff, and she
fell asleep too, Raza, her cousin.
Okay, it was also really late, and she was up. Anyways, I'm not
exactly. It was just late.
She's a teenager.
It was late. It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
I shared it with her. And she really loved it, and she even rewatched it. But it's like that kind of movie, I think, is an own because it's something that can be shared. It's such a beautiful story, and it's also worth watching over and over again. Like, I really think it's the kind of movie that you should watch multiple times because you there's just so much, you're gonna miss so much. Like, there's a lot of, like, little things too that you don't focus on or notice either. Like, even just down to, like, specific types of costumes in the costume scene. Like, there's so much there to see just rewatching that movie for that alone.
Eventually, I might suggest Hamlet with Ethan Hawke, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that one either.
It's kind of the same type of thing.
Where it's the Midsummer one then.
Yeah, but is Midsummer like modern day?
There's two of them. The newest one is modern day. It's like 2017. Oh. And the other one is better. I've seen them. It's set during the time.
Is one with Stanley Tucci?
Yeah, the better one.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. We should. That's what I'm telling Bailey. There should be a Shakespeare U, where there should be an endgame level of all, like, the Shakespearean things, and then Mecha Romeo comes out of nowhere. He has like a chainsaw gun and whatnot. I have come back for my love. Zing, zing.
What's the best Shakespearean movie? Is it Lion King? Or why is it Lion King?
You said two jokes in one.
Yeah.
Slow down a minute. Wait, Lion King is based off of a Shakespearean thing?
Hamlet.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. I've seen the latest Hamlet movie with the Assassin's Creed director. I really like that one. That actually won awards.
Denzel Washington?
No, the one in 2015, I think. There's a Michael Fassbender is in that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
Also, like, since Cody mentioned it, that was really good acting by.
About
It was
who?
he did really act his ass off in Romeo and Juliet. He did.
Leo? Yeah,
For
absolutely.
baby him, he did a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
his best movie still is Critters 3, which was his first movie. I'm just
But you're
kidding.
like laughing.
Yeah,
like,
because
you're like
it's a B movie. It's a C level
bad jokes.
horror movie. Oh, so you're
Oh
talking
no,
about
sorry, it's Macbeth. It isn't Hamlet.
Oh, okay.
Macbeth.
Right.
Hamlet, the one that Ethan Hawke is in, he looks like a fucking incel.
Hey,
Sorry,
don't talk shit about Ethan like that.
Like, get it nice.
Don't do it. What is it,
in
Hamlet?
Yeah, and
I'll drop it in the thing.
Because that's been on my watch list forever, and I haven't gotten to it yet. But I know what I'm picking next, so. And
I got my
just to inform you guys, I'm gonna do one that's like positive and then negative, if that makes sense. Because I want to try and be like, here's some comedy, here's like something.
Bear's gonna hate that.
And then
positivity.
Here's like,
gonna hate that.
I think I have seen that movie.
Wouldn't be surprised.
The one with Ethan Hawke. Okay, because I did watch like every single Ethan Hawke movie I could physically find online.
Yeah.
At one point in time. Yes.
Have you seen Black Phone? By chance?
The new one, yes.
What did you think of it?
I liked it, but I felt like I didn't fully absorb it, so I gotta watch it again.
Same here. I thought it would have been scarier, but it wasn't that scary.
No, my problem was I was too distracted. Black phone, he's got the big smile, and he's wearing the hat. I was when I was watching it, I was also like, I also had to do another thing, but it was the only movie I hadn't watched that I had with me at the time. So I actually put it in a DVD player, which I never do. So yeah.
That was written by Stephen King's son, by the way, that movie.
Black Phone?
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Why?
And he does not look like an incel in that movie. It's just the 90s fucking
I just see the poster and I see
shit that they give it.
Guy that says women are weird, and I just say, this is him. This is the caricature. Right, Bailey? Right, Bailey?
Women are weird.
Back me up.
Sure.
Back me up, Bailey. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, totally incel vibes. Yeah, I know what we're talking about. No, I actually don't know the film that well. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the film that well, so I can't really.
Where have you been for the past 20 minutes? Like,
I'm trying to pick a new anime film since she shut it down, and then I'm just not responding to you saying that I'm not a joyous person. I like happiness.
We can watch that one, Bailey.
We can do that one?
Yeah.
That was like 2 seconds ago, Rosa, you dick.
If I'm just gonna tell you, like, I will. You know what? Maybe I'm going to make you watch it with me. So that if I cry, you have to deal with it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I do, Rosa.
I will cry. This is the thing. I can't watch sad movies because I will cry. But I'll watch it.
You pick the movie like every time, and it somehow makes the wine mom cry. So that's on you, dude.
Well, because if not, I was thinking that we go with the classic. I was going to say I wanted to make you guys watch Ghost in the Shell if you've never seen the original.
I want to, but let's not do that one. Okay. Let's do the one you want to do.
Okay. I've seen Scarlett Johansson for version 2, and that one's.
I did really like the Scarlett Johansson one too, but I have heard that it's not that great. So
same.
No,
don't like it.
But I liked it. I liked it.
I like it too. Same here. I liked it, but do not bring it up.
I'll embarrass myself because it is Scarlett Jo and she's kind of trash.
Isn't that the Morgan Freeman one, or is he in another sci-fi?
I think he is in that actually.
No, he's not. Are you thinking of Oblivion?
Lucy?
Oh, right.
Or the one she's only able to use like her brain power, like
the USB movie.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny because
I liked Ghost in a Shell though. It was good.
The Japanese villain in Lucy is also in Ghost in a Shell, and he's most famous for Battle Royale, which is what the Hunger Games ripped off.
Battle Royale was so fucking good. I forgot about that movie. It was dark as fuck.
Also, I loved Lucy. I did really like that movie.
Yeah, we all love that show.
Oh.
Anyway, no, I did really
Zinger.
I did really like that movie. I remember watching it and afterwards being like, I like this. It's really good.
Yeah.
I did. I'd have to rewatch it now as an adult. Maybe I'll feel differently, but
Weren't
I did
you
really
not
like
an adult
it when I watched
when
it.
you watched it?
What did it win an award for?
Well, I mean, a different form of an adult.
Oh,
like it's
your
been
evolution.
a long time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Correct. Because, you know, when you get older, you do get different.
I don't.
What year did this come out? This is also 2014. So I wasn't an adult in 2014.
How old were you in 2014? Math is hard.
7.
7? You were 7 years old.
No, I wasn't 7 years old.
Well, I don't know who to believe. Panda, who tells the truth.
Hold on, I'll find out. No,
or,
he doesn't tell the truth ever.
Or Wine Mom, who always lies and manipulates me.
I do not lie and manipulate you. What are you talking about?
Fucking made me believe that I'm a monkey.
I mean, I low-key did, so.
Fucking, I mean, dude.
We all throw our shit, right? So.
Well, don't we know you do.
I mean, I do.
So behind closed doors, we all.
No, just out in the open, Bailey. What are you talking about? I just be throwing my shit at people.
Wine Mom and me almost got lured into a banana trap on the weekend.
That's not how.
No, we didn't get lured into a banana trap. We almost got free bananas, and then we got fucked because the guy came back and saw the bananas.
Were you guys being chased in a cart?
No, we were having lunch in the park.
Oh, it wasn't.
Or I was having lunch. Cody was standing there.
Tobacco.
Yeah, having that kind of lunch. Anyways, and then when we were walking back to the car, there was a bunch of bananas on the floor, and this guy came running over and snatched him. And I looked at Cody. He didn't even see it happen until it was happening. And I looked at Cody, and I was like, "Damn it, we just missed out on some free bananas."
Fucking. Oh God, you guys are just.
I don't know. Have you not seen the news? This all the normies. They're definitely fentanyl bananas.
Bro, I wouldn't be stealing no bananas from the ground. I made a joke that I thought was funny.
It's like the math question. You find X amount of bananas. You give them to Wine Mom. How many do you have?
Is that a tattoo, Raza?
What?
Do you have a tattoo right there?
Yeah, of his favorite godlike franchise.
I'm not doing what he's telling me. I mean, dude, almost fell for what it was.
No. I'm seriously curious if, like, right here you have a tattoo.
Yeah, it's right here.
It's yeah.
Oh.
It's not an
Assassin's Creed logo, because
that's why you defended it so hard.
He's a shill.
Fucking
Listen, you guys don't have dumb tattoos from movies or TV or video games.
I know Panda does. Yeah, I was gonna say Panda
multiple.
Yeah, fuck you, Panda.
Yeah.
On your back, do you not?
Well, the back is from a book, but I got.
So you're a geek too.
Oh, it's from a book.
You have a Dragon Ball Z tattoo?
Yeah, I got a Dragon Ball Z tattoo.
Where?
On my cat.
What?
Yeah.
You have a Dragon Ball Z.
Show it right now. You're lying. Show it right now. You're lying.
Bailey,
are you serious?
Yeah, it's on the back of my cat.
How did I not know this?
I don't know.
He's a fucking shill. He's a fucking shill, guys. Fucking call the cops.
I got future trunks.
He's a shill. Oh, so
he sat there and got a Dragon Ball Z tattoo.
Yeah, it's
fire.
He literally it's got some allegorical meanings to it. Hey, it's a character who was trying to appease his father and grew out of that to become his own man.
You're a shill. Want to put it out there? You're a fucking. Why don't you get a Pokeball next, Bailey? You fucking nerd.
I just feel like that doesn't fit your aesthetic, but
nothing does.
Go for it, my guy.
I want to do eventually color on the one side, so there.
Oh, that's cute.
My legs. I decided my legs are kind of. They'll be a little bit more punk rocky.
Do you want to get a Magikarp somewhere as well? You fucking nerd.
Yeah, definitely.
You do?
This nerd has a Mario tattoo. So.
Yeah. Oh, so you have 2 ones. Okay, I feel a little better about myself.
Yeah, Cody has some of the like. Come on,
all my tattoos.
His is worse than yours, Raza.
I've only ever tipped for 1 tattoo, and I have 4 tattoos.
You've tipped for a tattoo before?
Yeah, because I didn't have to.
You got basement tattoos. Come on.
Oh, no. Basement tattoos. That sounds morbid.
Isn't that what you said to me?
No. Listen, this one was done here at this house. Yes.
Right. So basement tattoo.
Right. But the Mario was actually officially done, but it was one of those coming into her
an apprentice.
Yeah.
So she used you as her canvas.
Yeah, it was free.
Oh, nice. I had to pay about $500.
Wait,
okay. I'm kidding.
Right, Raza, no, you did not.
200.
I know.
There's no. How much did you pay for that?
It was like 150. I went in for the walk-in, and they didn't.
Right.
They were like, you pay 50 for the deposit and the actual 100. And then if I went in any other day, it was like that. It would have been 350. But they had a walk. I think that walk-in Wednesday put them out of business though.
Ooh, 350 still. That's expensive.
Yeah. But then now I have friends that do tattoos. I can be like, I can pay you a couple $100 if you.
So why are you not getting more tattoos? What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't have.
Raza, hook it up.
It's haram, and he's trying to live a more fucking pious lifestyle, maybe, and he feels guilty.
Bailey, shut up. No, he doesn't.
I don't feel guilty.
Raza, hook it up for the fucking Mim tattoo. What's wrong with you? Why don't you talk to your friend? Tell him our idea.
Yeah.
And then get a price, and we'll do it.
I forgot about that tattoo.
Listen, I'll do it without you guys. I will go my own frog all alone.
If anything, I want to come to you guys and get it done. You know, it'll be a bonding experience. We can all 3 of us can.
Well, we do it together. We could come out there and do it with you. Something under the world.
We'll see. Yeah. We will see.
Since I don't want to take away and I want to be included, we should all get a nipple pierced.
Don't you already have like 20 beers?
Because that would fuck me over, so no.
Yeah, this is a no-go. I'll get a Prince Albert, but not a fucking nipple pierce.
Ooh.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah. You know this is a bold claim? Everything you've said tonight.
Okay, what are we talking about?
My dad's a superhero.
Why are we doing?
Very bold.
What did you say to the nipple piercing thing, Raza?
I said I don't want to do it because I don't want to get nipple piercing.
And I was saying it's bold because he said, but he'll do the Prince Albert, which is the tip.
There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. This earth, not on a life or another, not in a parallel universe. Raza, do not be Fibonacci up in this bitch. Okay?
I have learned my lesson because after I got my ears pierced, I was like, that's it. No more.
That was it for you? That was the limit?
That was the limit. I got zeros done. And then I
honestly,
said,
here's the thing. If someone was actually brave enough to come and get their nipples pierced with me, I would do it. Because the only thing is, like, I don't want to suffer alone that pain, but I will do it if somebody's like, I'll do it too. It's a double dog dare. So if you're not going to double dog dare, then get the fuck out of here. Okay?
Yeah, I will take that getting the fuck out of here period card. I'm fucking
See, because here's the thing. I quite often will tell people to do things that I think, like, would be fun or cool for them to do. And they'll always be like, oh, I'm not gonna do it unless you're going to do it. And I'm like, bet. Double dog. Let's go, because I know they're not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's oh my god, that's terrifying. Now I get it, Panda. Now I get it.
Don't double dog dare with me then.
That is terrifying. Just be like, hey, I want to bungee jump tomorrow. Panda's or Walma's just like, all right, I'll do it. Let's fucking go. Like, no. I didn't mean that.
Because I know he won't. Not going to do that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't. Yeah, if Bailey gets,
I have been thinking about jumping out of a plane though lately.
I don't want to get the nips done. Just jump, bros. Is afro. I do want to get out of here in about 5 minutes too. I'm giving.
I can see the leg. We can see the leg, Bailey. We know.
With a parachute, I hope not just willy-nilly jumping out.
No, I do want to skydive. because my dad did it and he survived, and I think it would be fun, so I want to do it.
Survived.
Because no, but here's the thing: I've heard a lot of people say that it's given them a new look on life. And if I die, I die. If I live, then maybe life will be better.
Appreciate you, Sensei. You're the best. Have a good night, Afro. Yeah. Thank you for stopping by as always. I hope stream this week went well. I popped in quick, but I was lurking. Appreciate you, man. Talk later.
Hi, bye, Afro.
He's telling Panda to watch out for the forest.
Yeah, on the hunt always.
Anyways, Bailey wants to go. So
skydiving is cool. I'm going paintballing. Wrap up. Let's go. Let's go.
I was gonna try and say. I was gonna say to wrap it up. I did my nails last night, and it's the best set I've ever done, and I'm proud of myself. That's what I wanted to say.
Oh, no. That's not fair.
Oh, well,
that's
since I got Panda and the crew here, the one that I watched Beef, and that was probably one of the best TV shows I've watched in a long time.
I still need to
I'm not
it.
done. I'm not done it yet, so don't talk shit.
It takes a weird turn. I started watching that Harley Quinn show like this morning.
I heard that's good.
It's
Why
very
are you
good.
watching TV in the morning? What kind of lifestyle do you have where you
He's got a normal job.
Okay, relax.
What do you mean?
I'm on your side.
A normal job. I don't have
chill out. Chill out. Relax. What I do, one mom, I get up around 9, so I make my coffee, and
you
then
get up at 9.
I get up at 9. I scratch my underarms, change my undies, brush my teeth, take a little shower, make me coffee, and then start my computer. Sit down, have a TV show or a movie on this screen, have my work here, and it just so happens to be that Harley Quinn was the show I was watching. So yes.
Out of that whole story, the most concerning thing is that you changed your undies, brushed your teeth, and then showered. Why would you do all of that before hopping in the shower?
I'm still learning the ropes.
I want to know.
He still lives at home. Give him a break.
Yeah.
His mom wasn't there for a bit to tell him. He had to figure it out. His mom just got back. He's got to relearn.
I'm gonna fire off my watch.
I'm surprised that you didn't catch that, Cody, when he said that.
I heard you.
You usually catch that shit. No, but you would catch it and say something.
Yeah, that's okay. I knew you would. So. I watched the Mario movie. It was good. A little fast paced, but it was good. Dungeons and Dragons was surprisingly so good.
That's what I said.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Return to Eon Flux, which is also based off an anime.
Right.
Oh, that's that old. Is it like a series?
The Charlize Theron?
Yeah, I watched the live action.
Okay, that's a good one. I really like that. That's an underrated old sci-fi.
It does have like subtle ethical and society issues mixed in, which was interesting. Upgrade, fan-fucking-tastic. The camera work, everything, the gore. I'll never get tired of watching that. And then I watched Duel, which was a surprising hit for me. But it's going to piss a lot of people off. And Wine Mom definitely can't watch it because an animal has like one of the most brutal deaths I've ever seen. And yeah. Karen Gillan.
I saw the Fast X. It's bad. It's very bad. The grind. I don't watch it.
I've also been catching the new Gundam series releasing new episodes.
All right, guys, it was good stream.
It's taken such a cute. It was a really good, surprising deep turn. I was like, oh, I'm surprised at what they did with this.
Bailey, you didn't respond except this. Look what we found.
Yeah, Bailey.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about that.
I saw it on the story.
Yeah, he found it in one of the things that we weren't even going to go into. We were gonna drive by, but then I saw a TV stand and I was like, let's look. And it's unopened.
We got some good finds.
Yeah, we did.
Anyways, guys, because I have money there's going to be a Diablo stream coming up soon. Talking to stream now. We're going to be doing that soon, and we're going to be taking off from there. We'll be this summer. Be on the lookout for Hell and Lilith.
We got our buddy Stoned here, who's gonna try to be at the top of the ladder board for Diablo. So we're gonna piggyback content off of him.
I've been talking to him. Him and I are going to be doing a little bit of a 24-hour thing. So that's fucking. We're gonna.
You know what?
We're gonna do it, and you guys are. Yeah.
What you should be talking about for the summer is how you're gonna get your ass this way to hang out. That's what you should be talking about.
In July, yeah, but not in August. August is like booked off.
I don't want to be your friend anymore.
All right, fair enough. That sucks because I have a friendship.
Raza, you don't care about me. Okay?
I don't know.
What is
I have been on your side the entire time tonight. What the fuck is this coming from?
We'll force them. We'll go there and we'll get the tattoos and we'll bug them.
I've invited Wyman. When all three of you come through, I'm taking you guys for a bunch of trails.
So I want to do that. Like, okay, we gotta go. Bailey's leg is stressing me out.
Yeah, but
I want to soon. Like ASAP. Yeah, no.
Just let me know when, and let these two fuckers know too, and then we'll make a plan.
Make space for these two fuck boys.
Yeah, more space for Bailey than Panda. I feel like Bailey's ego would be able to take the entire room up.
What I'll do is I'll take Panda. We'll go downtown, and then they can drive us to you in my car.
Sure. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
If whatever works for you guys.
Okay. Well, we appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you. If you're watching this, you know what it is. We already did the other shout outs. Thank you, Panda, for popping in.
Maybe you can meet my parents that Bailey calls scammers, by the way. So
that's rude.
Wait, are those the people that keep calling me every day?
Hey.
I'm gonna dig it.